Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports. When
It comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men, we will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
Coach Elko's my guy, right? Like, I love him. I love Michael Early. Like, I think Bucky's going to be incredible.
It's football, man. And that's what Warriors do. They don't want to sit out.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
The energy has changed. The focus is up. This is a great time to be an Aggie sports fan. What's up, Olin?
You know, it's always a great time, but
It's a really great time.
But this is really great. You know what? I know we're going to talk about football, but
We're leading with volleyball.
Mrs. Buchanan will be attending the national championship.
What? Okay, tell me more.
Okay, so
You know it's not here.
no, it's in Kansas City.
Okay.
So here's the way the story goes. We're watching the game. We're getting excited. Well, you know my niece
Yes.
goes to A&M.
Yep.
And her mother, the one who lives down in Brownsville,
Yep.
used to be a volleyball official down in
Okay.
Brownsville. So she's big into volleyball. So she's watching the Aggies. And she got so excited that after the game that she didn't even call Irma. She got on the site, bought 2 tickets to the championship game, then went on, got 2 plane tickets, called Irma up and said, "You're coming with me. We're going to the game."
Wow.
Yeah. So they're going.
What a great trip.
Yeah. They're going to leave Saturday and be back Sunday night.
All right. Hopefully with a national championship.
Yeah,
in tow.
hopefully. Yeah. And why not?
You know what I think is awesome? Jamie Morrison said it in that chair a couple years ago, and he wanted volleyball to take over this town and this community. He saw the potential for it. And everything that he wanted to see has come to fruition. I'm on my couch last night. All my kids and my wife were on the couch watching that game. All of us. Glued to it.
Yep.
Upset when things didn't go right. Celebrating like it was like we were watching an Aggie football game.
Like when Pitt got like 8 consecutive points, and then A&M still came back and won.
Shut the darn door down, buddy.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I like the game, first of all. You know, I didn't really pay attention to it. I was once the A&M beat writer for volleyball for a couple of years. Lori Corbelli had to like decipher for me what the stats
What everything meant, yeah.
But, you know, my niece played it, so we used to go watch her, and I kind of got into it. It's a fun, athletic sport to watch. It's so fast. I really appreciate the athleticism in it, and it's kind of hard for me, like sometimes, why'd they score there? And
Yeah.
So I'm learning the game as it goes.
And sometimes I'm like old man eyes. I'm like, wait, that's not a bounce? That's in? Where's the ball?
Yeah, what were the Aggies getting hosed on the replays, on the challenges?
I know.
I'm like, that's on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, there I'm yelling at. I mean, it's volleyball. I'm yelling at that's on the line. What are you talking about? You cheating bastards?
And some of the plays both teams made, right? Like, I'm like, oh, that's going to be a point. No, it's in the air. Oh, and they're diving, and they're like, it's.
Yeah, I really like that game. I like the game. So it's very exciting to see the Aggies pull that one out, even though they were in control, especially after they rallied from that or overcame the 8 straight points. Man, they're good. I sure hope they close it out.
Yeah. The National Coach of the Year is who?
It's got to be Jamie Morrison.
He is so good. And his passion, it jumps off the screen. That team, just like, and I know who the girls are, right? Like, and I hope that doesn't sound like I'm minimizing it, but like, I know their story. I know where they came from. I know what Kendall Staff, like, that's what a season is supposed to be. It's following these players on this amazing journey. And you get to see their parents in the audience. You're like, oh, there's Kendall's or whoever, right?
You know, and I think you're right with that. And I think that's one of the things that makes sports so much fun, especially college sports, is that you can get to know. And I think that's where football has come to fumble the ball, because now coaches are so control-oriented and don't want to, they're so concerned about something getting out that, like 20 years ago, I would get to know these players and know their stories. We just don't get that opportunity anymore.
Not as much.
But in basketball, in volleyball, we're learning, like you said, we're learning about those. And so it even makes you want to root for them even more if that's possible, because that is a great story of Kendall Stowers.
A&M becomes the third 3-seed in NCAA tournament history to defeat 2 number 1 seeds, joining UCLA. Was Pitt a 1 seed also? My goodness.
Yeah. And
so they're going to have to be the third 1 seed?
And now you got Kentucky coming up. Now, Kentucky beat you earlier.
Here.
And it was a really competitive game. But I don't know nothing about Kentucky other than they beat A&M earlier and they're here. But I do seem to feel like this A&M team has steadily improved. And they're probably saying, hey, yeah, let's go again. It's time to win this one.
We'll catch up with Kay Naegeli in a little bit.
Yeah.
But she had talked about yesterday and earlier in the tournament that they are the deepest team in this tournament, and they're showing that.
Well, I'll have to take Kay's word for it. But, man, what an exciting game. And I love, you know what, they can do that I never could do, right? Is when they're what they call digging, they dig it out, the ball's coming out. I don't know how fast it's coming, but to not only be able to get in front and dig it, but can you dig it? But to do that and control somewhat where the ball's going to go after that.
What about the pancakes?
Oh yeah, that's tremendous. Go sliding across. It looks like it's going to be a point, and somebody gets their hand down just enough.
Just enough.
Yeah. Look, if you're, I'm preaching to the choir, right? But if you're not paying attention yet, it's a very exciting.
It's not too late. It's not too late. Is it Sunday at 2?
It is Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday at 2.
Sunday at 2.
On ABC.
2:30.
2:30. Yeah, but I like to get the things early. Yeah. All right. So, all right, Nick. I'm an early bird.
I'll definitely be watching. I'll definitely be watching. I'll be watching. I don't know when the Cowboys play, but I'd be watching the volleyball, A&M volleyball over the Cowboys.
Well, there's a national championship.
Because one of them's going to break my heart, and one of them's probably not. One of them's probably going to deliver a national championship.
We're going to continue talking volleyball at 8:20 when Kay Naegeli joins us. OB, I got to tip my cap to Coach Elko because I don't know what's going to happen with Le'Veon Moss. And I'm not saying that he's playing games or anything, but like I sometimes can read things and be like, okay, I think he'll play. And I still think he's going to play, especially based on Colin Klein's comments and what we saw at practice. But how much he'll play, he's still listed as questionable. It has me, an insider who follows it every day, like still wondering, is Le'Veon playing?
I think he's playing, and I think he's going to carry the ball. I'm not saying I got any inside information, but I think I got a pretty good idea of what Le'Veon's about. And that guy's going to compete, and he's a tough kid, and if he can play at all, I think he'll be out there. And I bet you he carries the ball close to 10 times if he plays.
Yeah, I hope it's 12-14 and maybe 6 of those in the fourth quarter to close it out.
I just hope it gets closed out in the fourth quarter, right? Yeah. Actually, I hope it's already over before the fourth quarter, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I'm about to do something that I don't think I should usually do, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay, do it.
I'm going to react to a headline, not an article. Okay. Because I didn't read the article because it was behind a paywall.
All right.
Okay. So I just didn't read it. But I read the headline, and I think it's a good talking point. So Ari Wasserman, who is at On3, wrote, given the gift of the college football playoff inclusion, Miami can't waste this opportunity. And I think of it the same way Texas A&M can't waste this opportunity. Both teams are in a similar space because, A, Miami barely got in, and A&M, people have been doubting you, and they can't wait to doubt you.
Yeah, I agree with all that. The similarities between A&M and Miami, as you go down, statistically and everything, where their strengths and what they are remarkable. So why wouldn't that be a shared situation for both of them?
I agree. To me, this is an opportunity, though, to not completely change the narrative, Not completely, because I think the only way you completely change a narrative is the national championship. Completely change it, right?
Okay.
But it is a way to be like, not today, guys. Our story continues, and everything you thought about A&M before, that's back in the day.
I agree with you in that you can't completely change the narrative, but you do change the narrative because there are those out there like buzzards circling dying roadkill that are wanting to, they just can't wait to start saying, that's A&M.
Told you.
Yep. They're not that. You know, they only got there because their weak schedule, even though their schedule is ranked 5th by like ESPN. They don't want to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
There's the national talking heads. I'm not even talking about the Fulanos over in Austin or Baton Rouge.
Fulano.
Isn't that I learned that from my wife calling me that. So
it's basically like dude and homeboy. Yeah. Anyway,
I thought it had more of a negative connotation than that.
Fulanito. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not even just talking about them. I'm talking about the Louis Riddick.
Yeah.
And Danny Cannell, and any John Gruden, any number of other people that have picked against the A&M. Like, just if you want to pick A&M against A&M, I get it because you think Miami's that good. But to me, it's just it seems like just a complete dismissal of A&M, and I think they're just waiting to say, I told you, A&M just.
But okay, let me.
That's what A&M does.
Miami, the team Miami, what we've learned about them. Let's put them against some other teams in the playoffs. It would still be like Miami versus Oklahoma. Who would you take?
Well,
I think I'd take Miami.
I might take Miami, yeah.
Miami, Alabama. I'd take Miami.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But here's my deal with, all right, look, I know where you're going, but let me just say, here's why I would give A&M an edge.
Mm-hmm.
Because you look, they both played Notre Dame, both won close games. They both played Florida, both won comfortably. Their quarterbacks have thrown the same number of touchdown passes and the same number of interceptions. They both have big, strong offensive lines. They both have good pass rushes. They both have All-American receivers. They are almost mirror images of each other. A&M is number 1 in the country in third down defense. I think Miami's number 10.
Right.
They are so much alike. But not only is A&M at home, but if all the stats are almost the same, I can't help, and it's my SEC bias, of saying, yeah, but if I had those stats against an SEC schedule as opposed to an ACC schedule, I'm giving the SEC schedule the edge.
I agree. The Miami, Ole Miss. I'd probably take Ole Miss, but I think it'd be a game, kind of like the A&M Miami game.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I think Miami is a formidable opponent. They are legitimate. I felt like I was shocked that any committee would not include Notre Dame.
Right.
But I felt like Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame because they beat Notre Dame. So, yes, Miami is a formidable, legitimate opponent. If you win, it's not going to be easy. I would take A&M over Oklahoma. I would take A&M over Alabama. So when you compare, hey, would you take between Oklahoma and Alabama and Miami? I'm like, I don't know, because they're all
the same.
Yeah, to me.
All right, let's run our miles. 3 things that we want to see. Brought to you by the Brazos Running Company, your local Aggie-owned specialty running store, where you can find Brooks On and Hoka shoes located at Century Square below the Star Cinema Grill in College Station, and also check out masonhay.com. What are the 3 things you need to see this weekend? I
want to see Marcel make quick or maybe not quick, but very decisive. Be very decisive in what he's going to do. If he decides to run, I want him to see it and go. Not wait, loiter, and wait around.
Yep.
Just go. I want to see A&M run the football. I think A&M wins when they run the football successfully. And I want to see that A&M. I want to see A&M find a way to consistently pressure Carson back because he can't run away.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to tell you my 3 things. I want to see the Redemption Revenge Tour continue for volleyball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I want to see him win the
Yeah.
Nationals. I
So-
thought we were talking football.
No, we're just whatever you want to see this week. I want to see Irma,
On TV going,
on TV going, let's go Ags, right? Get 'em. I want to see that revenge tour happen because they've already exercised some demons, right? So let's continue that tour and win a national championship. I want to see Marcel play the cleanest game possible, but I also, this is a two-parter, not only do I want to see Marcel play the cleanest game possible, I want to see the defense do something they haven't done a lot of, which is create turnovers. Make Carson Beck resort back to what we saw against Louisville and against SMU. Give me that Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Okay?
Especially Louisville.
And I want to see a team that runs for over 200 yards.
Yeah, run the football. I don't know if they can get over 200, but
That's what I want.
yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Why not?
186, 202, in that ballpark.
Okay.
I think we win the game that way. Hey, this particular show is called TexAgs Live.
It is. Yeah.
We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
A gem of a guy.
We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio.
Jason, Jackson, Keith, Morgan, and the boys.
And the boys, right? And this hour, we've labeled it, we've given it a name. That is called the Go Hour, presented
by the warehouse at CC Creations.
That is correct. We are currently hanging out at the
Holistic Planning Cool Zone. You see how cool it is? Because I'm cool as a cucumber today.
Cool as iced tea.
In this zone.
We are also accepting phone calls on this show, believe it or not. If you call 979-693-1150, we'll pick it up on the Buppy's Catering
and bartending
hotline.
Yeah, they do it all.
Yeah. Buppy, it was good to see him here yesterday. And
man, was that lunch he provided for us yesterday? Was it good?
He's just...
Man, that was good.
Just call him Johnny Topper because that guy keeps topping his meal. Each week there's something new. Let's go around the room and say hello to the people, to a smiling, buzz-cut Nick Savage.
Howdy, good morning, y'all. Yeah, I went buzz-cut for Jamie Morrison. I won't go all the way bald, but went buzz-cut for Jamie Morrison. But, hey, since I am a man of the people, we do have a caller on line one. It is Ross. If you want to take it now, I will forfeit my time to Ross. So I'll leave that decision to you, David.
No, Ross calls too much. I'm kidding. Let's go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Ross, welcome to TexAgs Live. What's up, buddy?
Oh, man. I thank the gentleman from Texas for allowing me to speak. And you're right. I do probably call too much, David.
No, I'm kidding with you, buddy.
Oh, man.
Is this Ross from East of East Texas?
That's right. I used to live in Louisiana, and that's why I was east of East Texas. And now I live in between Mobile and Pensacola. And
so you're east of Mississippi.
On WNSP this morning, the hit from Olin Buchanan from TexAgs.com.
Thanks for listening.
So anyway, Go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, okay. Well, I just hear you talking. No, I heard you on the radio here in Mobile, Olin, and then all I wanted to say was it is exciting right now with what's going on with the volleyball team and the football team. It's finally down to where it's all settled on the court or on the field, and I'm looking forward to it. I think we've been waiting our whole lives for this. As Jamie Morrison said, we are here. I don't want to wait. Let's go take it. And I think Mike Elko will probably have a similar message. And gig 'em Aggies, beat the hell out of Miami, beat the hell out of Kentucky. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Appreciate you, Ross. You call anytime, man. Thanks so much for the phone call.
Talk about trading up, though, man. These guys, he's living in the Florida Panhandle instead of someplace in
Louisiana,
Shreveport or something like that.
By the way, Triple J Hurt on the YouTube page.
Triple J Hurt.
I think that's what it is. I want to see them run through
somebody's face.
Somebody's face.
All right.
A trucker's face.
A Miami foe's face.
Yeah. I want Miami to be demoralized by the fourth quarter.
We all want that. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I do think it's going to be a fourth quarter game. But hey, if A&M puts it all together and we finally see that game, that 4 quarter of good football, anything's possible.
Yeah, that show on Monday will be ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Thank you for saying that. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. That's where we find Reese Nygren.
Speaking of ridiculous.
And yeah.
Good
what
morning.
he said.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reese.
Good morning. How are y'all?
What's up, demoralizer?
I'm good. I'm demoralizing, I guess.
Sorry. Didn't mean to tell you on the
So
air.
I don't know if y'all saw a quote from Carson Beck regarding Kyle Field, the fans. He said those 102,000 fans can't play on the field.
They can't. They can't.
No. Okay.
Regard,
but look,
they might be able to influence what happens on the field.
I if I was going to defend Trey Zune the way I did, I'll defend Carson Beck. Sometimes you're asked the question, and he's just saying, they're not on the field. Like, they can affect. Okay, but here's the facts. When you make comments like that, Jumbotrons, billboard, like, things relive. So, just like the way the University of Texas, kind of had some fun at A&M's expense.
Texas University.
Yes, I always forget to do that because I'm from my TV days. TU. But Kyle Field can play the same game, too. So I'm sorry, who was it? Brady Cook a couple of years ago?
Yeah, Brady Cook and then Garrett Nussmeier also were victims of the Jumbotron.
Just don't talk smack about Kyle Field. It never works out well.
Well, but did he? He just said, look, they don't play. They do. They don't. They're not going to be on the field. You think I was talking about that
Sean Combs?
Diddy?
Yeah, you said Diddy. I was
is that guy is he in prison yet?
He's in prison. I don't think he got in trouble as expected.
Didn't he beat the rap?
He beat half the rap.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You've got a lot of info on that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Let's get one more little text or story.
You and Diddy used to hang out, didn't you? I mean, I know you were always rubbing elbows with celebrities back in the old...
I did hire his brother at the Mavericks.
With Thursday's announcement by the Football Writers Association of America...
I didn't go to any of his parties. For the record, I just want to make sure, let the record reflect. I was never at a party. There was no baby oil. Continue.
The Football Writers Association of America honored Cassius Howe as a first-team All-American. The senior edge rusher has become the 11th unanimous All-American player in program history. Howe is the first A&M unanimous All-American since Braden Mann in 2018 and the first unanimous Aggie defender since Myles Garrett in 2016.
Do you remember that 80-yard punt? I think it was against Clemson by Mann? Braden, it just went. It kept going and kept going. It was like that Energizer rabbit. Okay.
And then the volleyball team. You mentioned how they had to beat 3 number 1 seeds. They beat the 4th number 1 seed, Texas University, in the regular season.
That's right. True.
So they've technically, if they do knock off Kentucky, when they knock off Kentucky on Sunday, they will have beaten all 4 teams. Number 1 seeds throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, those girls deserve a parade. They deserve to be rewarded.
All right, when we come back, I already see Kay Naegeli. I don't know if she's in an office building. I see a TV in the background. I don't know where she is, but we're going to check in with Kay and find out the latest when it comes to Aggie volleyball, the celebration, the great game it was. Right now, we're talking 1775. I checked the YouTube page.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And Canes fan he's already left Bush. Okay. All right. He's on his way. He might even stop by TexAgs. Okay. But he has already said he is going to 1775. So if he's left Bush by 8 o'clock, he'll be in town on time.
As well he should, because he's gonna experience Texas barbecue at its finest. And what's finer than Texas barbecue?
There isn't anything.
There isn't anything. So it's kind of like the A&M volleyball team. It's number 1. It's and if you don't believe it, just go out and find out. And Canes fans going to find out because he's going to taste that succulent brisket and he's going to have some of that jalapeno cheese sausage, I bet. And I bet he might even get the pork ribs. He might get, he's probably going to get the sampler. So get the pulled pork and the turkey on top of that and with a side of queso mac and cheese, maybe some some loaded mashed potatoes, and have like one of the greatest days of his life until tomorrow when he has one of the worst.
Yeah. I'm going to just full disclosure, the true story. When we order the sampler, you know what my favorite part of it is?
The favorite part of the sampler?
Yeah, you're not going to know the answer to this. Okay. My favorite part is there's so much food on there that I know we're not going to finish it, that I get to bring it home. That's my favorite part.
Man, I was there one time, and the wife knew that I was there, and she called and said, don't bring me leftovers. Go buy me something because I don't want what you left over, what you've been picking over, you and I, Doc Mike. So then I had to go and order her some extra.
That's okay. 1775, txbbq.com is the phone number, 979-492-6241.
It's good.
We are back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by. Gotcha.
I was already.
The big presenter.
Oh, you mean David Gardner's Jewelry?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know if maybe for this segment you had somebody in mind. Or,
no, I just.
well, yeah, David Gardner all the time.
I like getting you when you're not expecting it. We got Bob and his family watching the show. It was nice to chat.
Coming up from Slidell, Louisiana.
Yeah, a little bit of a journey.
They were telling me Bob was telling me the last time he attended a game at A&M was the bonfire game.
Wow. So he's going to back-to-back legendary games.
Yeah.
Let's turn our attention for a little bit to volleyball. Not for a little bit, a lot of it. We go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Ace reporter Kay Naegeli has been following the volleyball team not only all season long, but also she's in Kansas City with Callie Gardner taking it all in. What's up, Kay?
Good morning. How are y'all? Pretty good night last night, huh?
Where are you? It looks like a real off.
Just in the hotel lobby. Nothing too crazy.
Okay. So let's chat about it. How was last night's experience?
Yeah. Crazy a little bit. You expected. I've seen this A&M team all year long, and I've seen the dominance. I've seen them go off like crazy, but it is kind of taken to another level when you do face a caliber of opponent like Pitt, also on the Final Four stage. It was a really exciting all-around performance. Again, Stowers and Lednicki led the way. And when those two combined for 30 kills, it's going to be a long night for the other team. And that's exactly what they did. Fenna got going on all fronts. Morgan Perkins, again, was efficient when she was out there. Emily Helmuth had some great strikes as well. So it was just really an all-around team performance. And I feel like that's what I keep saying. But it's just true. That's what it's going to take to get it done. And that's how they did it last night.
Kay, I know that having covered this team as much as you have, and you've seen all the good things they've done this year. So you probably were very optimistic about how that was going to go last night. But I want to ask, when did you get a feeling, they're going to win this?
When they came back from that 8-0 run in the first set, it was pretty evident to me. They were 22-2 when they're 22-2, 23-2 after last night. And when they win the first set, they win the match. So it's a pretty good indicator of things to come. And whenever you can rally back from a deficit like that, and whenever another team goes on a run and you're just able to shake it off, not really have a care on the world on that stage, I had a pretty good feeling from that point on.
Okay, talk to me about what Jamie was like yesterday, because knowing him, I saw the interview afterwards, but you got to see him for a little bit longer. Knowing him, emotional, excited, can't wait to start working again. That's just kind of the sense I get from him typically.
Yeah, for sure. He always tells you he's such a competitor and he cares so much. He was so fired up. He was so into it, and it's so funny when you look at the discrepancy between what was happening on the floors. Like, and some of the points, like Jamie just seemed so calm and relaxed and trusted in his team and trusted in the preparation. And Pitt on the other side looked a little bit frantic. Dan was kind of always going back to officials, making sure things were going the way that they wanted to, and they didn't. And Morrison even lost a couple challenges, but they didn't let that phase them at all. He was very loose. The team was very loose. Before that third set, me and Callie just remember watching him just go up and hug every single one of his players before they went on the court. And he is just you just want to play for him. And it's so obvious that these girls want to do everything they can to win for him. And he was just so relaxed. And then as soon as Fenna had that final kill, he was jumping on his assistant coach, like wrapping around bear hugging her. Just so happy for his team and what they did last night.
Yeah, it was I think it was early in the second game when there was a challenge, and even the commentators said, they're going to turn this over in favor of A&M, and then they didn't. And I remember thinking, I've seen, not necessarily in volleyball, but in other sports, something like that go against you, and you collapse. Instead, they just surged. But I was just commenting on that. My question to you is, look, as someone that doesn't know the game as well as you do, hey, anybody like me can look and say, hey, Fana's playing great, Stowers, Lednicki. Who is kind of an unsung hero that we should have known about, that someone who knows the game better would have recognized?
Maddie Walk, maybe?
I feel like every single time it's Maddie. I said this in Rapid Reaction yesterday, but for people who don't know volleyball as well, what the setter does, you can either make an offense look superb or you can make it look terrible really fast. And Maddie is just so consistent. She is so amazing at what she does and distributing the ball, right? We talk a lot about point guards, about quarterbacks. You have to go to your different offensive options, or you have to keep the defense off balance so they're going to know what's coming every time. Maddie does such a good job of that. She had a dunk that snuck over the net and caught him off guard yesterday. And she's just been so consistent all year long. And even behind the service line, I got to talk to her post game, and she said she had an error in the second set, and she was like, and she's awesome to talk to. She's the sweetest, most humblest person you will ever meet. And she's like, I can't do that again. Like I couldn't mess up after service error. And then that third set, within a couple points of each other, she had aces, and she ended up with 3 on the night. And so she got it done behind the service line. And on the other side of the court, there was another All-American setter. And she had two bad sets, which on that stage is just, you can't do that in the Final Four if you really want to take it. And ultimately, Maddie was a third-team All-American. The setter on the opposite side of the net was a second-team All-American, and Maddie was the better All-American last night.
Okay, last thing for you. Since the third set of the Louisville match, I feel like A&M has been the number 1 team in the country, because when they have faced 1 seeds, they have been the better team throughout. And not just because they're winning, they just look like the better team. So closing out, how do they do that again against a Kentucky team that is also a 1 seed, also playing like a number 1 seed or number 1 team in the country, and a team that's already gotten A&M here at Reed Arena?
Yeah, Reese Nygren said it before. They're going to be playing every single number 1 seed this season at some point. They've had a rough schedule, and that's what I think is so cool is they've overcome so much adversity, and they're playing some of the best teams in the nation. Yeah, I 100% agree. They are playing like the best team in the country. Kentucky last night, of course, they had a fun match to watch. They dropped that first set, and me and Callie were looking at the score. We're like, oh man, like that's not necessarily what we expected. But again, they have some fight too. They have a 2-headed monster in Hudson and DeLay who can kind of get it done the same way Stowers and Lednicki can. I think ultimately A&M just has a little bit more depth right now. You have a Fenna who can get you some kills. You have Morgan. You have Emily Helmuth who can come out and be effective. And ultimately, Maddie Wack is just a phenomenal setter, and she can spread it around so well. They're playing their best volleyball right now when it matters the absolute most. You're playing for a national title on Sunday, and I don't see any signs of slowing down. So A&M Kentucky All SEC final should be a really exciting one.
KK, thank you so much. Great work as always. We'll talk to you very soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
The great Kay Naegeli there on the Buppies Catering and Bartending Hotline. We'll hit a break. We'll come back, get back to some football talk. OB, I told humans yesterday on this show, I was like, do not take advantage of that 25% off, by using the TexAgs 25 code on Duck Camp. That's supposed to be VIP, only like certain types of people. Like I told you, I said it to you on air, but not for them to use it. Yet people are using the 25% off, and I'm like, don't use it. It's only for VIPs.
You know what? You wear Duck Camp, you look like a VIP, even if you're not.
Yeah.
In fact, you probably are.
You probably are.
I mean, look at me. I got a Duck Camp shirt. I love this. This might be my favorite one.
Yeah. You could wear that to a Diddy party.
Yeah, I guess I could. Would I wear it long? That's the question. But I don't go to parties like that. Actually, I don't go to any parties. But you know what?
Me neither. I don't party.
But you know what? If you went to a party like a Christmas party and you brought gifts, what better gift than some Duck Camp apparel that you can get for 25%?
No.
Well, if you're an important person.
You got to be it's only you got to know somebody who knows somebody.
Like, could Reese get it?
I mean, if he knew the code, but we're not going to tell him the code.
Yeah.
It's TexAgs 25.
TexAgs 25?
Yeah.
Like TexAgs plus this year is 25?
Yeah, or 25% off. Yeah.
Or 25% off?
Huh.
Or if you turn 25, you get a break on your car insurance.
That's true. Yeah.
25 is a big number.
DuckCamp.com, built for the outdoors, designed for everything else. Everyone, David Nuño here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever. And also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group. And they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports, and they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent, no pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it. Had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned. And that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs. And remember, gig 'em. Buchanan?
Nuño?
You seem to like the song.
I'm a big Alan Jackson fan.
Yeah. When he comes on, you pep up.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
I learned something during the break.
Yeah.
A&M is not wearing black tomorrow.
They're not the men.
I think we all jumped to a conclusion when they did the whole profile pic change, but apparently Reese Nygren at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center has got some details for us.
Yeah, yesterday they did their weekly game week jersey drop, and they are doing the classic maroon, white jerseys for tomorrow. So despite the change in profile pictures, they will not be rocking black tomorrow.
Imagine that, A&M playing in maroon and white.
Have they ever worn black for an early game?
I think they have in the past.
Okay.
It's been a while, but I think they are I think I read they are 2-0 in games where they wear black in the morning.
Okay. Interestingly, I don't think the uniforms have anything to do with how they play.
I don't either.
I mean, I think it's more scheme and players.
Yeah.
Scheme don't matter, Obi.
I think blackouts should be reserved for night games. Give it the full vibe.
Okay. You know what?
You love when we talk fashion. You're like, can we get to the next topic?
It seems like, I might be dead wrong on this, it seems like in 2012 that they wore black on the road at Mississippi State, who was wearing white to commemorate who commemorates their Independence Bowl victory over A&M because it snowed that night.
Oh my God, that's right. I remember that game.
No offense to Mississippi State, but if you're down to commemorating your Independence Bowl victory, I don't know.
Obi, let's do some matchups. We only got a little bit left in this segment, but Marcel Reed versus that Miami secondary.
Yeah, Marcel Reed's thrown for 2,932 yards, 25 touchdowns. He's got a couple of All-American receivers, so distribute the ball to those guys. Be decisive. Keep the ball out of Miami's hands. Miami has got 12 interceptions this year, 2 returned for touchdowns, so they're really good at forcing turnovers. Marcel's thrown 10 interceptions, so that's going to be an important part. So it could be an important factor of the game. So I think if Marcel plays a clean game, is able to distribute the ball, A&M could have a nice day.
So as I was preparing for Nuño's notes, talking to a couple insiders, what I was told was their secondary is really good at stopping bubble screens, but where their pass defense struggles is in those crossing routes because the linebackers don't have the speed, and really some of their cornerbacks don't have the speed to keep up with fast, twitchy guys. What does A&M have?
Fast, twitchy guys.
So
that are good on the crossing routes and slants.
Yeah, very good at that. Let's talk about the offensive tackles versus those Miami formidable defensive ends.
Yeah. We know that Trey Zoon created a stir. I think he was trying to express confidence in A&M, and it came off as being disrespectful to defensive end Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor. Those two guys have combined for 11.5 sacks, which is the same number as Cassius Howell has by his own, but still they lead the Miami defensive, their pass rush that's produced 34 sacks and 36 quarterback pressures. So, they'll be challenging Trey Zoon and Demetrius Crownover. I think Zoon will probably, based on the games I've watched, and I've gone back and watched some video, Bain typically lines up against the left tackle. So that would be Zoon. And then Messidor would be on Crownover. That's not the only big matchups in the offensive line, but I think with the pass rush, that's definitely, some matchups to be featured.
Running backs, hopefully including the Moss man versus the linebackers.
Look, I always look at the linebackers because as kind of the key to the run defense.
Yep.
We know about misfits, right? And
unfortunately, we know too much about it.
And they got a couple of good linebackers. Wesley Bisson. I'm going to say his name wrong. Bisson. Okay, Wesley. And
go on, try again.
Bisonton. Is that what? Is that it? I don't know. And Muhammad Torre.
Yeah.
Torre. Anyway, here's the deal. A&M needs to run the football to be successful. The Aggies have rushed for at least 183 yards in 8 games. Not surprisingly, they're all victories because A&M is 11-1. But that just shows when they're running the football well, they're having success. Miami, on the other end, is I think they're like number 6 or number 7 in the country in run defense.
Yep.
So that's going to be important. You know, guys like if he plays Le'Veon Moss, Reuben Owens, you know, they're going to have to make those linebackers miss.
Cassius Bell versus the 6'9" Markel Bell.
Cassius Howell.
Cassius Bell, sorry. Yeah, I combined the two people to make a superhuman.
Like I said, Cassius Howell, 11.5 sacks, consensus All-American, SEC Defensive Player of the Year. It'll be interesting. He's what, about 6'2", you think?
Yeah.
6'2", about 250. Markel Bell, 6'9", 345 pounds. So he's the left tackle. I imagine that's where Cassius will be challenging him most of the time. Big guys, you know, hey, they look imposing, but sometimes for the big guy, a shorter guy can be more difficult to block because they can get lower and it's hard to keep up with them. On the other side, though, they have that Francis. I'm terrible in Polynesian names. Mauigoa,
sure.
All-American selection. So I think if you're looking to get the best matchup from the A&M perspective, you're probably going to put Howell on Bell most of the time.
30 seconds. Cornerbacks versus Malachi Toney. They've been really good against star receivers.
Yeah, and they need to be because Malachi Toney's a guy that can take a 10-yard pass, catch, and turn into a 50-yard gain. So if Des Ricks or Will Lee or Tyreek Chappelle, if they're on him and they don't break up the pass, just make sure you make the tackle. Try to keep him from turning short passes into long gains.
Hit a break. We'll come back with a very short segment to close out the Go Hour. Right now, the family-owned agencies dialed into the TexAgs. The Rollo Insurance Group is doing amazing work helping small agencies keep up with the slow-motion corporate takeover of the industry. And we're talking tech markets, education, successive planning are big challenges. But if you go to rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs, you can listen to Keith and Jackson's message that they did right here in the studio not long ago, a few months back. And at Rollo Insurance, Aggies are doing all kinds of work to help out other Aggies. There's about 60 offices in the great state of Texas, but their headquarters is right here in College Station on Highway 6. Call up the number, 888-44-ROLLO, 888-44-ROLLO. Go to rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs is Rollo Insurance. Hey friends, David Nuño here for Prize Picks. They're back on TexAgs, prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Use the code TexAgs to get $50 once you play in $5 lineups. And Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Football season's here, basketball coming up, baseball, you name it. You go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs and start having some fun watching sports, making some money on there. And you can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Remember, they'll give you $50 in lineups once you play $5 lineups on Prize Picks. And they have the new thing. It's called It's Good to Be Right campaign, and they're kicking off the upcoming NFL season with their bold new campaign, It's Good to Be Right. The seasonal long push celebrates the thrills of getting it right, from the perfect prediction to winning your Prize Picks lineups. Prize Picks is good to be right. p.m. And we're back. We're just talking about if the Aggies win, OB is going to hit Northgate and party hard.
I am.
But you can't wait till night. You got to go after your work duties.
No, well, that might be night for me. Son's in town. He's always looking for an excuse to go out and have a good time.
If A&M wins by double digits, I'll party as long as our subscribers want to.
If
not
A&M,
past 9 p.m.
I'm only asking for 1 point.
Yeah.
1 point or more.
Just a win.
Just a win, man.
Let's bank on it. Presented by Vera Bank. Authentic relationship-based banking built for real life. Go see Joel Jackson and the team. Learn more at verabank.com. Obi-Wan, what are you banking on?
I'm banking on my man Marcel Reed having the kind of game that he needs to have for A&M to be successful. Also banking on that running game. I think I'm not saying they're going to run for 200, but I think they're going to run successfully.
Here's mine. Le'Veon Moss.
Yeah.
60 yards on the ground.
Okay.
2 scores.
2 scores.
Come on,
Le'Veon.
I'm feeling, optimistic.
All right,
not
good.
apprehensive. No, optimistic.
All right. Well, I hope to see it all. Just see a win, man.
Yep. Thank you, OB.
Yep.
When we come back on TexAgs Live, we'll talk to SEC Mike, chit-chat with him, Billy Liucci in studio. Then the 10 o'clock hour, the final countdown, Steve, Seth, and Billy all in studio. You're listening to TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. I knew that my buddy SEC Mike was a huge Backstreet Boys fan. That's why we played the extended version on the program. It's TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio, and we go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We are joined by Michael Bratton, SEC Mike. What's up, buddy?
Hey, David. I was getting down to that Backstreet Boys. Thanks for that.
Yeah, man, that was only for you, not for any other reason. Not because we were having technical difficulties behind the back, in the back. Hey, so it's here, man. Playoffs are here. A&M, Miami, got Oklahoma, Alabama, got a lot of other stuff going on. Let's just start it off on your thoughts on this first matchup. Billy was going to join us at some point during the conversation, but where are you leaning right now?
Oh, which game you saying? The first game, Alabama, Oklahoma?
No, we'll start off with A&M.
A&M, man, it's funny because Cousin Shane thinks. Now, of course, he's just a huge SEC homer, but he thinks Miami is a fraud and A&M's going to roll them, and I certainly hope that's the case. But I think it's going to be a lot tougher game than Cousin Shane is realizing. I don't want to say coin toss because I do favor A&M to win this game, but Mario Cristobal, let's give him some credit. I don't think he's much of I would never call him an elite in-game coach, but I do think he's a heck of a recruiter, and he's had the resources to build Miami into an SEC image, and I think he's very well done that. So there's things I like about this Miami team, particularly on the line of scrimmage, that I think matches up pretty well against Texas A&M. I think, the first one to maybe 24 points may win this game. I like A&M, but I don't like them by more than probably 3 or 4 points. I think I have it 28-24 A&M, so right around there. But I think this is going to be a game that goes down to the wire, and just you should be thankful A&M gets to play at home.
Yeah, it's interesting, Mike, because my opinion of this matchup has changed multiple times since the announcement. The initial opinion was that's a good matchup for A&M. ACC team hasn't played anybody good in a few weeks. This should be really good for A&M. And then I'm like, oh man, that offensive line. Oh man, that defensive line. Oh, Malachi Toney. Oh, Carson Beck hasn't thrown an interception in 6 weeks. Those things start popping up. But I can't get past the fact that a lot of those stats are built upon against teams that aren't of the same ilk, if you will, of even an Auburn or a Mississippi State. If you want to poke holes at the A&M schedule, I think you can do the same thing to the Miami schedule.
Oh, there's no question. And again, would Miami's record be? I believe they're 10-2. Would they be 10-2 if they played an SEC schedule? I don't know. I find that very hard to believe. Other than now, again, Florida, not a great team, but that was pretty impressive. Now that was about 3 months ago. They played Florida, but they look like $1 million against Florida. So if that's the Miami team that shows up. Again, I'm not saying A&M can't beat them, but they're going to be in for a real dogfight because I really like what I've seen on the defensive side of the football from Miami. But, of course, I like A&M and their weapons just a little bit more. As long as Marcel Reed doesn't have multiple turnovers, and I don't anticipate he will, I think A&M wins a close one here.
All right, let me ask you this. Let's say Miami at their absolute best. Texas A&M at their absolute best. Right? Not the bad version that you saw against Texas or part of the half against South Carolina. That A&M team that took on LSU, that A&M team that went through the most of the SEC schedule, and that Miami team that took on Notre Dame. I'm just calling it that, their best version. What team you think is the better team if they're at both at their best?
A&M. And I think A&M, if they're playing at their absolute best, I think they can win the national championship. I think everybody and their mother, except for maybe diehard listeners and guys such as yourself, will be picking Ohio State in the next game to beat A&M. That's fine. I think that would play perfectly in A&M's hands. And I'm not saying A&M should be favored, but it wouldn't stun me if they turn around and beat Ohio State after they win this game. So if A&M's playing at their absolute best, I think we've already seen it this season. They're as good as anybody in the country, and I'm not picking against A&M if they're playing at as well as they possibly can.
Mike, I'm glad you said that. I don't know if I'd pick A&M to beat Ohio State. I like the way if A&M, and it's hard for me the Friday before a game to already look at Ohio State, but just to give you an insight in my head, the way I look at it is if A&M does what I think they can do, the version that I saw earlier in the season, not the November version, which was good enough to win 3 games, I know, 2 real games. But if A&M does what I think they can do, it changes the way I look at that Ohio State matchup, right? So if A&M comes here and wins a 10-point game against Miami at Kyle Field, then I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I know Ohio State's great. I know it. But who have they also beat? And it's in Texas? So, but I have a hard time jumping that far ahead because I'm so concerned with the Miami matchup.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are just too consumed with the last version of A&M that we did see against Texas. And I know you guys were hoping to go to the SEC championship game. Quite honestly, I was hoping you guys did too, just for some new blood down in Atlanta. But I certainly think A&M's better than Alabama. And, Alabama getting smoked, I think it would have been a lot better matchup. And I say all that to ask you, David, what would the opinion be of this A&M team if they went to Atlanta and beat Georgia? I think a lot of people would say, hey, maybe this team's capable of winning the whole thing. And I know I'm just sitting here playing a hypothetical game, but point being is I think the last impression of A&M would be significantly different if they had that opportunity, and I think they could have beaten Georgia.
Which is why I think Ohio State could be thinking, if I get A&M, that could have been the number 1 team in the country as our first playoff matchup. If we get Miami, that Miami team is ridiculous talent-wise. So, to me, I'm like, Ohio State has it harder than I would have thought for, I think Oregon's got a way easier draw, obviously in the first and second.
Yeah, isn't it weird, David? I mean, we love the sport, we obsess over it, and then the people that are managing the playoff 2 years in a row, it seems like I can't make sense of how they structure pretty much any of this. But I agree 100%. I think Texas, Oregon, and Texas Tech got a significantly better draw than Ohio State, and I'm trying to figure out how that could possibly happen.
Mike, Le'Veon Moss, if he goes, and he is Le'Veon-ish, okay? I can't expect him to be the Le'Veon, the best version, but let's say he's a really good version. What does that do for this matchup, and your thoughts on it?
I mean, it could very well be the difference because, again, I think this is going to be a pretty tight ball game. I've got it as a 4-point win. So, I mean, he very well could be the deciding factor, and I hope he is close to the Le'Veon Moss we know. But how realistic is that after coming off an injury, not playing in, 6 weeks? I don't know, but I'm certainly hopeful. I think he's a key X factor and a big reason why I like A&M. Again, not that he's going to come out here and have 30 carries or anything, but he may give you, 5 or 6 carries that define the football game.
Talking to SEC Mike here. Mike, you've seen Carson Beck a lot, right? I mean, obviously his time in Georgia. I'm sure you've seen him at Miami. What makes him really good? What makes him dangerous? What makes him vulnerable?
I think his ability to push the ball down the field is maybe unparalleled in college football. Now, that's not exactly what they're asking him to do at Miami, which is kind of interesting to me, but he pushes the ball down the field really well, and he kind of has that NFL mindset of, a pro's pro where they could throw a critical interception, and you're thinking, oh, man, that, most college quarterbacks are kind of, they kind of break after that or melt down. Not this guy. I mean, he'll just get right back in there and keep throwing the football. That's very impressive. I thought he should have been benched. I'm thinking back to Georgia, Alabama, when he had a horrible game, what would have been last season. And then I said, I don't understand how they keep him on the field. Second half, he gets Georgia the lead until Ryan Williams' incredible play. I mean, I don't know that I've seen that from a college quarterback. He's tough to rattle, so I'll give him that.
Yeah, I think a big part of this game to me, Mike, and I might be wrong because I know he gets rid of the ball quickly, but if A&M is able to put any pressure on him, which I know is going to be hard with that defensive line, A&M has struggled against these mobile quarterbacks, right? We saw what Taylor Green was able to do, Lenore Sellers, even Arch, who I don't call him a mobile quarterback, but he's super athletic, right? And he ate up a bunch of chunky yards for Texas. Unless he gets rid of the ball quickly, if Cassius Howell is able to get a step, I think that could be the other difference in the game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think anytime, particularly, again, that's why it's so big playing at home. You're going to have that advantage. with the crowd, and I just think that's going to be a huge X factor in this football game. I wish it was an evening game. I understand why it's not now. I mean, when that was first announced, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But I get it now with the NFL games and things of that nature, why they're doing it. But I don't think they could play this game at 4 a.m. I think A&M fans, I know A&M fans are going to show up and be a huge X factor in this game.
Talking to SEC Mike here on TexAgs Live. Mike, I have a hard time thinking that a team will beat a team 3 times in basically a year. That being said, Alabama, I know they're still banged up. I don't know, man. This game I'm having a hard time on because you would think after the way Oklahoma's taking care of business against them, but I don't trust their offense. I think it comes down to the real health of Alabama. How do you see that game playing out?
Man, back and forth. That's my mindset where I don't know. I think this is the toughest call to make in the entire playoff, at least the first round anyway. But all week I was thinking Oklahoma. Yesterday I woke up and I convinced myself it was going to be Alabama. And then by the time we did our evening show, I was back to Oklahoma. So that kind of lays it out for you. But yeah, beating a team 3 times in 13, 14 months, incredibly difficult. But I don't know. Here's the key, and this may be overly simplistic, but if Alabama can't run the football, can you really go on the road and be completely one-dimensional, I guess, an elite defense and win? I think you can if Ty Simpson plays well, but even that, I mean, he has kind of regressed big time over the last month. So if he was playing a little bit better football, I would have more confidence in Alabama, but I just think playing at home, I know it's only 1 year. We only have 1 year of data, but the home teams have won every college football game in this expanded format, and I like them to do it again this year too.
Hey, so do you see a scenario where Michigan right now is waiting on this game, even though what Kalen DeBoer has said that he's not interested in anything? Because if they lose a 3rd time to Oklahoma, it's going to get a lot louder there in Tuscaloosa. Not that they would fire him, but I know they're working on an extension or whatever. But do you think that's part of the game plan here? Is they want to see what happens at the end of the season so they can have some kind of conversation with Kalen DeBoer?
Yeah, I mean, at one point, I thought this was just kind of like a joke. I had on Nick Kelly from AL.com yesterday, and I said, let's say Jed Fish takes the Michigan job. Are you guys going to be asking Kalen DeBoer, hey, you go take the Washington job? Because it seems like every job that comes open, it's Kalen DeBoer is the prime candidate. But the way I hear it behind the scenes, Michigan truly does have Kalen DeBoer number 1 on their board. So to your point, I don't think Alabama's going to fire him if they lose this game, but I think Michigan is got a full court press on Kalen DeBoer, and they want to give him whatever he needs to hear to want to come. I think they're willing to do. So I don't rule it out that he does leave for Michigan. I don't think he will, but it's my understanding that Michigan is the candidate for them.
Okay, so I know we played this game last week, but let's see if your thoughts have changed. If those dominoes did fall, okay, let's just say it does happen, and Kalen's like, you know what, this is not my speed. I wanted it to work, but it's just not for me. Takes the Michigan job. The next 2 calls from Alabama are to who?
Lane Kiffin and man, I don't know. Maybe Steve Sarkisian. Okay. Believe it or not, yeah, I think you'd have to go down that route and just make them tell you no, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I just think the theater in it, I'm rooting for, right? Like, I don't know if I want that for those kids, and but like the theater of like having to see Bama scramble and then Texas have to scramble or LSU to have to scramble, like what the moving, and then they're going to get some big name too or whatever, and then that program's going to have to scramble like all the way in January. We'd be talking about this. That to me would just be high comedy and great theater.
Yeah, and who would win in the end, David? We all know Jimmy Sexton. So shout out to the man that really runs college football these days. Hey,
Mike, Sankey, I guess, mentioned the other day on, I think it was on Feinbaum, that he is definitely trending towards that 16-team playoff. Where are you on that? Do you think that's what happens as soon as next year?
I mean, yeah, they're always going to take the money while the money's out there, I guess. But I wish they wouldn't do that, David. I really do, because I think 12 is perfect. Now, the way they do the 12, we've already kind of complained about the formatting, and I also think it's kind of a joke at this point in time to let a G5 in there, now that we have NIL, now that we have the transfer portal. 10 years ago, Boise State was, that is a quality team. Boise beat Georgia in Atlanta. I mean, things like that have happened, but we're just in this new era where, fair or not, these lower teams don't even compare to major college football. So I wish it would just be 12, and I wish they'd just take the 12 best, put them in there, because even at the end of the day, what are people arguing about? 9-3 Texas, 10-2 Notre Dame. The only thing college football has over any other sport is how awesome the regular season is. And when we get to 16 and we start having 3 and maybe even a 4-loss team in the college football playoff, we've devalued the only thing that kind of makes this sport unique, I think.
Mike, just to close out, with the 12-team playoff or 16-team playoff, and the thoughts on what could happen to the Bulls, do you have an idea of how you would fix that, or do you even care? One thing we kind of bantered about it, but I think again, it all goes back to money, right? So if you're talking just bowls, all they are is essentially television products, right? So there's millions and millions and millions of dollars on the line for the TV people. I think you got to give a healthy portion of whatever these bowls are making via TV to the players. Give 75% of the winning of that money to the winning team, 25% to the losing. There you go. Let them battle it out for money. I think that would make these bowl games very competitive very quickly. Mike, I appreciate it, man. Merry Christmas to you. I'm trying to think. We'll hopefully be doing no, we won't be doing a show next Friday, but hopefully we'll be doing some more football content over the next couple of weeks. So can't wait to get you back on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Mike. SEC Mike here on TexAgs Live. All right. So we'll hit a break. I think Billy's on his way in, so we'll chit-chat with Billy. We'll also go through some text messages and some thoughts. I was just alerted of a CBS article that says Texas A&M whiffs on fraudulence. Oh, my gosh. It's the first time that I can remember that the national media looks at an 11-1 team from the SEC and says they're fraudulent and forgets to look at what the real teams, in their eyes, who they've played as well.
Yeah.
Just for a minute, just let that sink in. I hate that I have to repeat topics. I think Ohio State is as good as they're ranking. I do. But keep SHIP consistent. Ship, right? Mm-hmm. Keep it consistent. Yeah. Because you can use the same microscope on Indiana, and I know Indiana's got a couple great wins. Yeah. The win over Ohio State and the win over Oregon kind of changes their... Yeah. But the in-between games as well, Texas Tech, Oregon.
Cupcake.
Keep it consistent, guys. You can say, hey, this is the first time in college football that I don't see a truly dominant team because nobody's beaten more than one elite team. Yeah. Except Indiana's now got 2. Yeah. You can say that and be like, and of those teams, I feel like A&M is the most suspect because X, Y, and Z. But to jump straight to this is a fraudulent team, when they did beat a team that people are clamoring for to be in the playoffs, when they went to Baton Rouge, you lose one game to freaking Texas, who a lot of people wanted in the playoffs too. Yeah. And now you forget everything that they did because of their This is not a Big 12 schedule. Why am I yelling? I don't know. This is not a Big 12 schedule.
It's not.
It's not. Did you know it was an SEC schedule?
I did know it.
Did you know that the SEC worst teams typically beat the other conferences?
Yeah, we saw it this year,
yes.
Actually.
What the bleep? Sorry. Fake worked up, but worked up. I am worked up, but some of it's just...
You've gotten worked up about this before, so why do it again?
But you know what? I'm going to zen out. Yeah. It's a great weekend for Aggie sports. I'm sure Billy's listening to this segment and can't wait to get to the studio and be like, "Shut up."
He's gonna make fun of you.
Yeah, no. Or he's gonna, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna do the opposite. Billy's very good about doing the opposite of what I think.
Yeah.
He'll praise me, and I'll be, oh, and then I look defensive.
Yeah, and then he'll get you with something.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just waiting to find the right spot to talk about. Heritage Films. When Heritage Films talks about the different levels of my audio, my tone, my anger, my sweetness, they're going to be able to tell a story about the journey of David Nuño getting worked up in a segment and also working himself back down to Zen, because Chance McClain is a storyteller. He tells people stories. He tells family stories. He tells family business stories and family ranch stories. So if you have a family, most of you do, and you love your family, if you watch this show, you love your family because you're an Aggie and we have great values, then you need to reach out to Chance McClain because your family deserves a story told about them, right? So if you have thought about it but you haven't made the phone call, I'm going to tell you, I don't mean to be mean, but this is the facts. We are not promised tomorrow, and you're going to regret not calling Chance McClain, right? You're going to regret not having that story told about your mom, your dad, your uncle, your boss, your family ranch. You're going to regret it. I'm just telling you because I've heard from people like, man, I should have listened to you, should have done it earlier. It can start right now. And it doesn't have to be the older folks. It can be a story about anyone in your family. Call Chance up at 713-893-8341 or yourheritagefilm.com. Yourheritagefilm.com. Check it out. All right, we're back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Let's go to Reese Nygren there at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Nygren, we've got some comments here on the YouTube page.
Yeah, we have it's apparently might be an SEC hater. Black Raider Steele said...
He's been on the show before. He's usually controversial.
Being a SEC member and playing an SEC schedule isn't the flex you think it is. The SEC is a product of media hype and preseason rankings. The reward for not winning the championship is revenue sharing.
Okay. I looked through all his comments he's ever made on TexAgs. I have access to all his comments. So we can kind of break this down. Black Raider, I know you've come on the show many times. I appreciate you. He claims to, I love educating brainwashed media narrative and college football fans. Let's see what else he says here. This is, I think, maybe I'm wrong here. I don't think I'm wrong here. But he says, unlike FSU and UF, Texas A&M removed Miami from their schedule after Miami didn't fire Jimbo Fisher. A&M fired Jimbo Fisher. That was a home-and-home series. Yeah. We didn't remove them. We actually played the 2 games.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not true. But he is saying that the SEC narrative is wrong. Okay, all right. I mean, the last 25 years of evidence is probably wrong. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But this season alone, according to our friends at Mr. Google, the SEC is 10-4. Against other Power 4 conferences. Okay? I think that's a winning record.
Yeah.
SEC has struggled. Let's see. Well, we know that Alabama lost to FSU, right?
Yeah.
First week of the season. Yeah. I think you played that game 10 times. Bama probably wins 8 out of 10, but props to FSU.
They beat them.
Right? What is the other one? I'm trying to think who was some of the other losses in the SEC. I know some of the wins.
Kentucky lost to Louisville.
Oh, that tells you
that's a
big, right there.
Big kicker right there.
Okay, I do know this that Auburn beat Baylor. I know that LSU this year won their first game against an ACC team in Clemson, and Clemson wasn't good.
In Clemson,
here's what I think. I think the difference is that the SEC and the Big Ten have kind of shifted the power in that the SEC for a long time was such a dominant 2 or 3 team league. Mm-hmm. Now I think it's a lot more balanced throughout where I believe, have at least 10 teams that are darn good. Yeah. Okay? I think in the Big Ten, what you have is 3 legitimate teams and some other teams that could be, right? So I tend to think the middle of the SEC, and look, all this is up for debate. This is what makes college football fun, and that's why Black Raider Steele, that's his name?
Yeah.
Black Raider Steele watches our show from time to time because he wants to be the defender of his truth. But I had a point. Where was my point? Where was I going before I brought him up?
You were talking about the middle of the SEC.
Yeah, I think USC, who did beat A&M last year in the bowl game, but not the same A&M
it's a bowl
team.
Game.
We know that. But I believe the USC and the SEC would probably be an 8-4, 7-5 team. That's just my opinion of it. Yeah. I might be wrong. Yeah. Right?
We'll never know.
I don't get paid for getting correct opinions. No, correct predicting games. That's not what my job is to facilitate conversation. And I have an A&M bias, no doubt about it. And sometimes an A&M bias means you're a little more critical of your team too.
Yeah.
Right? That comes with it too.
Because you watch all of their games.
I know everything, right? At least I tend to think I do. So the bottom line is that A&M or the SEC, I think, is top to bottom, the best league in the country. But the 2 best teams in the country appears to be Indiana and Ohio State. And to me, it appears to be Indiana and Georgia playing the best brand of football in the country.
Yeah.
Georgia has been on since, week 8?
It's been a few weeks now. Would you say that the SEC becoming less top-heavy is a direct correlation to NIL?
Yeah, it's absolutely that. 1,000%. NIL has allowed for Texas Tech to get in the game for all these other teams. Another thing that Black Raider Steele says is Carson Beck was 24-3 as an SEC starter for Georgia, gets hurt, leaves Georgia, and now he can't win because he chose Miami. Good thing I keep receipts, and media narrative brainwash college football fans. I just don't think Georgia ever thought he was their guy, even though they won.
Yeah, they won.
but I don't feel like they liked that brand of offense in his day.
Did they win because of Carson Beck? The answer is there were some games.
He had very good moments, and he had some very head scratching moments.
Yeah, where you started to wonder how this guy was an SEC starter. We did have another question in the YouTube page saying, is it college football's job to make the fairest national championship tournament or the most entertaining? And I think this ties in with Joel Klatt's comments about.
What did Joel Klatt say?
He said,
I typically don't like to listen to him.
Yeah, he was talking about how March Madness is the dumbest postseason format ever because it doesn't give a true national champion.
I hear Billy. So what I'm going to do is as soon as he opens that door, I'm going to start my spot. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Should I wait?
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Well, he's taking a long time. He just talks to people.
Yeah, he's Billy Liucci.
Yeah. Okay, he's making fun of Olin now, so I think I'm going to hit my spot.
Yeah.
Milliken Reserve. If Billy wanted to do the show from Milliken Reserve with the giraffes and the zebras, they're probably not there. But all the beautiful animals at Milliken Reserve, I think it would be an awesome show. He's walking in as I'm doing the spot as predicted. And when you go to Milliken Reserve, you're going to share in a legacy of conservation, which means generation after generation, you're going to come back to that pristine countryside place. So, see you, Billy. So that your family is going to always know exactly what they're walking into because it does not change. The website is millikenreserve.com. That website, once again, millikenreserve.com. And we're back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Billy Liucci is in studio, and you were greeted by Canes fan, Fonzie, who the YouTube chat was like very worried about his drive from Bush to here. They were asking if he made it. So he's officially made it. What's up, man?
I'm nothing, man. I'm just, this morning was kind of an all-timer.
I wasn't going to make fun of you.
Yeah, I know. So, but we can. So last night I couldn't find, when I got home, I'm looking. I'm like, I can't, my car key, the battery.
This started last night?
Yeah, so I was going to change the battery in the car key, and I'm like, I'm going to do this before I go to bed. And I couldn't find the car key. So I looked. Was nowhere to be found. Checked under every seat, every nook and cranny. Practically got my hand stuck looking. So I go out this morning, and of course I'm like, oh, shoot, the car key. So I got to do that again. Look. Finally, I give up. And I tell Zane, can you get somebody to come over here and pick me up? I have no car. So Olin's on his way. I'm like, I can't give up on this. This would be a real problem for the weekend. I'm the only person that's ever purchased a vehicle and gotten one key.
That's happened to us, actually.
Well, I don't understand how I didn't. I know myself. I should have said, look, I can't walk out of here without a second key. But I did. So we need to call Aggieland Chevrolet and get that handled. But finally, I'm like, well, there's a box of the duck camp hats that they sent me. There's a box of them in between my front and back, or in between my two back seats and the bucket seats, I'm like, why would it be in here? And I dig underneath like 15 hats, and
it was in there.
The car key was in the back seat, in the box, at the bottom underneath the hats. How? Don't ask me.
Hey,
how do I do anything?
As your friend, I gotta, we're gonna get into volleyball in a second, but I've got to ask. When you couldn't find it last night, how come you didn't start thinking 2 steps ahead? Why were you like, I need to call Nuño, I need to call Olin?
Would you have liked me to have texted you?
Yeah, I wouldn't have looked at it until the morning.
3:47 in the morning.
Yeah, I was actually getting
what time that was.
Yeah, that would have been fine. I got up 30 minutes later.
Yeah, so I probably could have called you.
Or maybe Ubered, or like just planned ahead a little bit as opposed to look for it.
You never think you're not going to find the car key.
I break things.
You never think you're not going to find the car key, especially when I knew that it was in the vehicle. There's a maximum of a 5-minute search for that thing.
Did your blood ever boil where you're breaking things or wanted to?
No,
you're better than me.
I took it in stride. I was kind of tired, so I didn't have that energy to get too mad.
What a friggin' game yesterday in Kansas City, man. What a beatdown by Aggie volleyball.
Ass kicking.
Yeah.
Like in the Final Four. That's like going to the Final Four in basketball and winning by 28 points, 30 points. It's like Villanova over OU a few years ago when they won. It's like they treated Pitt like as if a mid-major had a Cinderella run. That's not normal.
A team that had been to the
5 straight Final Fours for Pitt. I mean, first time ever for A&M. And I talked to Jamie during the offseason about this team's potential, and he kept saying I'm telling you, we can get to a Final Four. And then the conversation was more like, and once you get there, you never know, because the lights can be, this was before this team really started playing, but he was like, you just never know on a first time how a team will handle that. It's so big. It's such a giant event. And compared to like volleyball, like had they not played it at Nebraska, maybe that's shock value when you get there and you see how big the whole thing of it is. But they acted like they were the team that had been there 5 years in a row to the Final Four. They acted like it was nothing. I talked to Stacy Sikora after the match. She wants to come on the show next week.
Okay.
Talk about Jamie. She's very close with Jamie, through USA Volleyball, and as soon as we hired him, she had connected us. We'd gone to lunch, talked about you've been working with him ever since with like promoting volleyball, creating the volleyball. It was his idea to create the volleyball forum on TexAgs. It wasn't something that like we came up with. He's like always forward thinking with this, and thinking in saying this volleyball here is going to be really, really big. So this is what I would love to see as we approach this thing becoming a monster here. I've seen a lot of good volleyball here under Lori Corbelli over the years. A lot of my really close friends, some of those girls married some of my best friends. A lot of them I'm still in touch with. Like, I'm talking about both Elite Eight teams. This is special, man. And what he's doing is building something special, because this run, what he's done is captured all Aggies. It's not just the volleyball fans anymore. Now he's captured everyone. And when you can do that with this fan base and these numbers and this type of passion, it's remarkable. And it reminds you of what Gary Blair did. But the difference is he's in year 3.
Right.
It's incredible to do that in year 3. They're playing for a championship on Sunday. They're playing for a national title against a familiar opponent on Sunday. It's remarkable to do that in that sport in 3 years. In 3 years' time, and they came from way down too. So I mean, credit to him, his assistant coaches, the girls that stuck with it and stuck it out and didn't leave when there was a coaching change. And and by the way, what a great hire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who was the driving force there. It was Ross Bjork or Justin Moore, but what a great outside the box hire.
Yep.
And I know Jamie's talked about it, how many jobs he didn't get because it was an outside the box thing. But, when you're thinking of college athletics, that one's like really different. Typically they don't like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have experience. You got to have been coach, in a head coach in the SEC, or, you move up the chain conventionally. And no, none of that. And in year 3, they're playing for it. And here's the thing. Now you may as well just go win it. I mean, Kentucky's a great team. Obviously, they came here and beat A&M, but this team looks like they're. We always talk about peaking at the right time, right?
Mm-hmm.
My God, this group's peaking at the perfect time. They've played great volleyball all year, but this is next level what they're doing now.
Well,
TCU, Louisville, Nebraska. Now this,
to me, and I know you share this thought, the postseason creates legends, right? So when you think about some of the names in A&M history, we think about the AC Laws, Aquanisha, like all these names in different sports that had high success. And obviously Aggie men's basketball didn't have the same level of success as Gary Blair's. But when you look at what volleyball has, we're going to remember Logan Lednicki forever, right?
Yeah.
We're going to remember all these players, Jamie, all of them, because of Kendall Stowers. We're going to remember them for this run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I mean, they're becoming – the speed at which they've become household names among A&M fans is pretty remarkable. I mean, I'm trying to think, where was I when I was at a wedding Friday when they beat Louisville, following it on the phone, and a wedding, like, welcome party. It was Friday. It was a welcome party, whatever. In a week's time, basically how they've become complete household names. I mean, they've drawn great crowds this year. They've got a great following. I mean, obviously, I think the casuals know Logan and Kendall, and so. But now it's like the whole team, and it's just like it's very similar to this day. Sydney Colson, Sydney Carter, Danielle Adams, that team. They're iconic. Amanda Scarborough, Megan Gibson, that softball team that lost in the championship series. These A&M teams that make a run, but man, you want to really mint it and cement it, win the whole thing, and in a really high-profile, visible sport. You know this. You have kids that play soccer.
And Isla plays
youth
volleyball.
Soccer and I didn't know that. Youth soccer and volleyball, right? Any of us that are of age that have friends with kids know how big these volleyball events are around the country, and how much you do it with soccer, but how much the families and parents commit to travel and to go. It is a
ridiculous
national phenomenon. So when you're playing for the national championship, you're beating the Nebraska Cornhuskers and Harper Murray, and you're playing Pitt and Olivia Babcock and all those Final Four. Like, you talk about putting yourself on the map to stay, and it's obvious that Jamie Morrison's program has staying power. And for anyone that's ever been in there, I went to practice one day with Stacy and her Italian volleyball coach. Like, he's from Italy.
The guy that Jamie looks up to?
I think so.
Yeah.
And we go into practice, and this is the first time I'd been to a practice. This was like maybe a year ago. Every single girl on that team, at some point during the, I don't know if we were there an hour, in the middle of practice, walked up to you, told you their name. Hi, I'm so and so, and thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to practice. So, thanks for coming to watch us. Thanks for supporting it. Like, it's just a real program where Jamie, his coaches, and the girls really get it, and it's part of why they're doing what they're doing. Okay. And cool stuff, by the way, from my man Kyle Lednicki, who has also pushed. Hey, he loves the exposure for the team and the program, and it's never about Logan. It's always about A&M volleyball. And so for one of my college buddies to see him on TV, shedding a tear after they beat Nebraska is pretty special because he's as good a dude as they come. And you got to go to a break.
I'd love to get him on the show, by the way. And just as a reminder, Billy, and I know you know this, but we got a women's tennis championship not long ago in men's track and field last year. Yeah. And we're now a win away from a volleyball national championship. A moment for Caldwell Country Chevrolet, Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online at CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. If you're looking for a selection that won't break the bank, you check out Caldwell Country Chevrolet because they got a wonderful selection of vehicles. When you go there, you're going to see the wide array. You can, of course, start your search online, but you're going to get amazing customer service, great trade-in value, and just an overall fantastic experience when you go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet. The trade-in value, again, is going to really help you find that right vehicle because you're going to get some equity right away. What you need to do is make that drive. It's about a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. A short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and you do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. Let's talk a little Snaps clothing. David Nuño here, and I love wearing Snaps clothing everywhere. I've got the flannel on right now. You've seen me in the Tailgater collection with the A&M gear. It is fantastic. If you see me around town with my sons, Christian and Cruz, they've got a bunch of Snaps gear. When they have big games for Consol, they wear nice clothes, so they wear their Snap stuff. And I'm telling you, with baseball season here, let's all kind of go looking stylish and fit to the games there at Olsen wearing the Snaps clothing. As a reminder, they are the only official licensed Texas A&M Pearl Snaps maker out there. Their Tailgater collection is built for game day with breathable, moisture-wicking fabrics to keep you comfortable while you rep your Aggies in style. Now, whether you're watching the game from home or maybe you're in attendance, you're tailgating, whatever it may be, you got to make sure you head to snapsclothing.com to see everything they have to offer. It is fashionable, it is awesome, and you're going to love it. And we're back on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. We've got 1 minute. So let me just do this, Billy, because I know you'll go on a tangent. Maybe I shouldn't even let you talk.
What I want to do is you tell that Jose Canseco.
I can maybe do it later.
The short version.
As a reminder, the final segment of the program brought to you by Double Dave's. That's at 10:50. Right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We'll hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. Serving Aggie land since 1984 with your favorite pizza.
Basically, Nuño went up, knocked on Jose Canseco's front door.
Yes.
And had someone bring him in to see Jose and Ozzy's childhood bedrooms.
Yes, this was in 1988.
That's like Ray Finkel type stuff.
Well, we took pictures. Canseco Sr. was very, very nice.
Oh, it was Canseco Sr.
His dad, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And did you know that a few years later, I talked to Jose at the
Galleria,
at the hotel that the A's were staying at,
the
versus
West
the Rangers.
End Galleria.
No, in
Arlington. I saw Darryl Strawberry there as a kid. That was my high point as a stalking fan as a kid. Darryl Strawberry shopping in the Galleria.
July 2nd, 1991, Jose's birthday. I see him in the hallway. I said, "Mr. Canseco, I'm a big fan. Can I get an autograph?" I was at your house. He goes, and I go, "I'm Cuban also." He goes, "For real?" And he took me to the pool. We played football in the pool for an hour, and he took me to lunch, and I had pictures and video evidence of it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that really happened. Yes.
Why did he? I don't understand how this went from. Where did he take you to a pool?
There's a pool at the hotel. I acted like I stayed there. I was in jean shorts. We got to hit a break. That's the story. That's all you get. Welcome back into TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. It is time for the final countdown with Steve, Seth, Billy, presented by La Casa Tequila, raised in Aggie land and rooted in the SEC. Gentlemen, it's been a minute.
What's up?
How are you guys?
Dude, I am fired up.
How are you?
Man, I can't wait. It's literally felt like about 3 months instead of 3 weeks.
Biggest final countdown in TexAgs history right here.
So
the biggest.
Whatever it was you did.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Texas,
what did I do?
Don't do it this time.
Yeah, he was probably wearing that same quarters. It looks familiar.
What did that game do for your confidence meter moving forward? Anything?
The Texas game?
Yeah. I mean, was it a bashing, or do you like one bad day?
Let's just talk about the reality of it is that their teams, every team besides Indiana apparently, has gone out and not played their best. We didn't play our best, man. We had a good, solid first half, and we wet the bed in the third quarter, and it just went downhill from there. But, I mean, my confidence isn't shaken. I mean, these guys can still perform. We're still the team that went up to Notre Dame and beat them. We're still the team that rallied to beat South Carolina after being down tremendously. I mean, we are those guys, and we've got the talent to beat those teams. So I'm not scared like this false narrative that's being put out there, like Miami is the 1993 Hurricanes or whatever.
Were they good?
Like they're good. They're very
like
good.
01 or
No one.
97.
Well, they were. They beat Texas 52-3.
That was in 90.
That's the 93 Miami I love.
That's the two.
Texas was on the Shock the Nation tour. I remember that as a kid, and it ended in misery there and down a cold. They got Miami in the cold that day too, and no dice.
That was a beat.
Listen, I totally agree with what you said, and I was talking to someone, I won't say who, yesterday about it, and it's phenomenal how many questions, Nuño, Mike Elko has had to answer this week, 3 weeks after the fact, about losing a football game.
Yep.
And you've got people asking if it killed the mojo, if it derailed. Like, I think this Miami team, we're going to talk about it for the next hour, is a great team. They lost 2 games. Ohio State lost a game. Texas Tech went out and lost to Arizona State. Oregon got blasted by Indiana.
Did it kill Ohio State's mojo?
No.
Last year?
And no one's asking about it. That's what's crazy is like there's like one coach and one group of players and one team that's having to sit there and answer to a singular loss in a 12-game schedule.
Yeah.
There's one team whose strength of schedule is under attack out of, I can name them all. We'll start with Miami, go to Notre Dame, go to Oregon, go to Indiana, go to Ohio State, go to Texas Tech.
I was about to say.
Is that shocking? Is it really shocking,
though? It doesn't take anything away from any of those teams, just like it should in A&M, because they're all in a bucket together.
Yeah.
But yet we somehow you can't stop it, but the national media has plucked this line on the SEC standings out, and they've plucked the performance in the second half against Texas and tried to make it define what this team is, and it's really nuts. That's why I'm glad I'm ready for real football.
I don't think it's nuts. I really don't. I don't. I mean, it's call it recency bias.
Mm-hmm.
You're only as good as your last game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So they're doing that to Ohio State. I guess.
I guarantee you they did it last year.
You know when they're going to do it? When A&M or Miami goes to play in the Cotton Bowl. You watch. They're going to be.
You think they're going to resurrect that against Ohio State?
I think it's going to be a trendy upset. I think a lot of people are going to pick the winner of this game to knock off Ohio State.
I could see that, definitely. Yeah, but I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but I also understand, because I feel a little bit nervous about that too, because I know how good we are, what we're capable of. But when the last thing you saw was them just getting their butts whooped for a whole half, you're going, are they going to be that same team, or can they turn it completely around and be the team they were in the second half of South Carolina, or the team that went to Notre Dame?
But did they get their butts whipped, or did they just play like crap?
I think they played like crap. I don't think they got their butts whooped.
Yeah.
I think we made a lot of self-inflicted mistakes. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, until you fix those, I'm going to have that little bit of hesitation. Yeah. And as a team, you wonder, can they completely flush that out? I think it's going to take a little bit of early success to get.
I'll
and
tell you,
once
the
that
only thing in
happens,
that
we'll be
game
good.
that lingering bothered me, because look, for as crazy as it seemed, and I was sitting down there on the field, and I could feel the momentum just get away from A&M, just in that 50-yard run even. But if you don't jump off sides on 3rd and 8, that's a hard third down to convert against our
Right.
defense. You're probably kicking a field goal, and A&M's getting the ball back with like 5 minutes left, down 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the butt kicking that everybody said. So
It's self-inflicted stuff.
and then we're a
man.
lot, and then
Sloppy.
two of their 3
Which
plays came
is a
on
theme for us
on blown coverages. So what concerns me more than the blown coverages and the false start was just the run defense again, and the O-line got it handed to them for the first time in 12 games. I think, and we all think that's a great offensive line. They had a bad day, night in Austin, and they can't not afford a bad night. They have to have a great game on Saturday, and maybe that one has them motivated.
Yeah.
This defensive front they're playing, I would say it's not close. There's not a close second to what they played this year. They didn't play any of the elite and SEC fronts outside of Texas and Missouri, but Missouri's was way more with the edges than it was. Miami across the board.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Texas and Miami, and oddly enough, Florida. And look, they moved the hell out of the ball against Florida through the air early on the ground, but this will be the best defensive front 7 they see. So that
front 7 or front 4?
Front 4 in particular.
Yeah, because I think you're right on that. I think it is probably the best front 4 we've seen, but I don't think it's the best front 7 we've seen. I think that there's some
Auburn had a pretty damn good.
There's some weaknesses at the second level to exploit.
Yeah, we just got to get to that.
We got to get to the second level. We got to cover them up front. We got to get movement. We can't give up penetration. You can't be forcing your back to cut, a yard or two in the backfield, things like that. So I have a little bit of confidence because I think our offensive line's played really well, especially at home.
They're mature,
they're
and
mature.
I think they can bounce
They've
back.
done it, and they've done a good job in especially pass protection at home. I don't know how many sacks they've given up at home, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good about the matchup. I just think that we're going to have their best effort, and I think we'll get it. I mean, dude, these guys are going to be ready to redeem themselves after their last game.
It's the playoffs, dude. Everyone's going to get their best effort. I think our guys, their guys, it's going to be a great game, and I think that we match up well. Like what I want to see is I want to see Marcel just have a boring game. I don't think he doesn't have to be he's got to play well, but he doesn't have to be a hero. I don't think if he can just maintain drives and just knock off shorter passes and let our receivers make the yards that they make.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't necessarily agree with that because I think that you look at the games that we've done really well.
Very disagreeable.
I came in with just the opposite thoughts of you guys today. No, but I think that Marcel does have to have a memorable game. I think that he does need to make some explosive plays with his legs. I don't think he's a game manager. I mean, if you ask him to just go be a game manager, he's not very good at that. He's good when you let him scramble out of the pocket and pick up 15 on third down or scramble and make a throw down the field. I mean, I think those are the type of plays we're going to need him to make to win this football
I agree. I guess what I meant is I don't want to put him in a situation where we're long third downs where we're having to make these ridiculous passes against.
Don't make him a drop
edges.
back passer, dude.
Right, that's what I'm.
Don't
that's
make him
kind of what I'm
passer.
trying to get to is I want to keep him out of those situations.
Well, I love him in play action. So too, if you run the football with some success,
we're going to have to run the football.
If you do that, Miami doesn't let people run, but teams have run with some success. A&M's been great this year, running with some success early and more success late. That's going to be a key because if they can do that, I want to see Marcel. You guys, the NC State quarterback. Reese probably knows him. He's a really dynamic player, really dynamic.
Yeah.
CJ Bailey. He's freaking you don't watch him because he's at NC State. He's a playmaker, much like Marcel. They came out and it was like they had a game plan too. We are going to shake him up and make him so uncomfortable early. He was a complete non-factor.
Yeah.
And I know the talent around him is not. Hell, A&M took their best player off of that team in Casey Concepcion. But that's going to be what they try to do. And where has Marcel been at his best? When he comes out early and is assertive and goes after you. So think about LSU on that first drive. He drops back. Oh, there's a crease. 50 yards to the house. Against Arkansas. Oh, they go down and kick a field goal. We're going to go right down the field, touchdown. Next drive, right down the field. Against Florida. okay, y'all went right down the field and scored on us, so let me go 75 to Craver on the first play with one of the best passes I've thrown all year. When there's another game I'm thinking, which one am I thinking? Oh, Notre Dame, too. Like, from the outset, I think they had a 3-and-out on the first drive. After that, like, they're in attack mode, and Marcel doesn't sit back. And to me, he's got to play like when A&M has the ball, you guys have to stop me. Right. I don't have to worry about like what you're doing. I'm going to make you adjust to it.
Make no mistake, I didn't mean to say that he is not going to be the reason.
No,
he is going to be.
It,
no, I said I want a boring game,
manager.
But he will be the reason.
Basically called Marcel Trent Dilfer. Unfortunately, we don't have that.
I'm not looking for the 2001 Raven defense out there.
But I get what you're saying. What Marcel does, you're talking about. Part of it is he kind of needs to be both. Don't turn the ball over.
Yes.
Let your playmakers help you win this game because that's how it's going to happen. Right. And well, are we going to a break?
No, we got a few minutes. Oh. I did want to ask about something that Steve said about the recency bias, and when it comes to Marcel in particular. If you look at his stats, they're basically identical to Carson Beck.
Yeah.
But the arrows pointing up for Carson Beck, better completion percentage for Beck, but he throws a lot shorter passes. He's not going deep as much as Marcel.
We have more explosives, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely more explosive. But because Marcel struggled in the last couple of games, the narrative has shifted on him.
No doubt. I mean, it's recency bias. You throw 2 picks to end the game, then, that's what people remember about you until you give them something else to remember.
Those 2 picks, and in the first half against South Carolina, they're going to think about that. But and that's kind of what I meant by that is just have him out there, not turning the ball over, being efficient. Yeah, of course. That's his game. He is going to make huge plays in this game, and I can't wait to see it.
I'll just say too.
The combo that South Carolina have to it is factoring in everybody's viewpoint. It would be like if you took Miami and said in their last 3 games they lost to SMU, lost to Louisville. Carson Beck had 6 picks in those 2 games, and in between they beat up Bethune-Cookman.
Right.
Even though A&M didn't lose to South Carolina, I'm still saying you take the team's worst 2 games.
No doubt.
And you throw Samford in between.
It's the way you're trending.
And people think, and that's why I love the 3-week break.
Yeah, I do
That
too.
is why
it's
I love
a chance to reset mentally and physically. And Seth, to your point, I think you're right. I think Marcel does have to be smart with the football, take the underneath stuff, the shorter routes, take what the defense gives you. And I definitely agree with Billy. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to go out there with that type of mentality of you got to stop me. I'm not going to let you dictate what I do all the time. I'm going to go off script. I'm going to force plays and make aggressive moves to go win this football game. And I think you got to have a mixture of
ball control is going to be huge. I mean, that's Miami's game to a certain extent. They're like plus big time, and we're negative in turnover margin.
Yeah, so we're like number 2 or 3 in time of possession.
I mean, we got to protect the ball, man. There's no way on earth that we can get away.
Absolutely. Here's the thing: there's a flip side to A&M and the running game, and making things easier on Marcel and wearing the opponent down. That's exactly what Miami can do too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Both these teams are they go about it a little different. I talked about it this week. Bain, Cassius Howell, Marcel, Carson Beck, both
similar?
offensive lines.
A lot of similar strengths.
It's wild.
Malachi Tony and
KC
Concepcion, really similar dudes. Like, look at the numbers there. It's not just the numbers too. It's just how they play. Like, they can beat you special teams, catching the ball short, catching it over the top, running game. The only thing is Tony can throw it, KC can't, as far as I know. But yeah, they are in some ways mirror images, and when you look at like how they like to win, the difference is one's you say pure passing quarterback, and the other one's a dual threat, true dual threat. But man, the one thing that people keep asking me, like, well, what's your biggest concern? It's the line of scrimmage, both sides, because Miami has got a great offensive line, and a couple of years ago, three seasons ago, A&M went to South Florida, and Miami beat them up front. And I was reading stuff, watching them talk about it, and a lot of the like old school Hurricanes were so fired up because remember the Canes came here the year before, and A&M beat them a week after losing to App State. Like, neither team was very good, and that game against A&M really started, even though they ended up not being good, that kind of got the Florida the former Miami players were talking about, okay, man, Cristobal's starting to build his offensive line. It finally showed up. Well, fast forward a few years, this will be, again, this is an SEC high-level offensive line, talent-wise, experience, physicality. They've got a very high draft pick at tackle. You know, he's going to go, I don't know, top 10, maybe. I don't know.
Although, Billy, not to cut you off, but only thing I'll add to their offensive lines, I do think they got a weakness at center.
I would agree with that.
You know, he's maybe an experienced player, but he's light and he gives up a lot of penetration. I think that's something you can definitely exploit and force them
Steve,
to.
your mom says you didn't have your Tom's coffee. Looks like you got it to me.
Is this a commercial?
His mom told me to bring it in. So
I have no doubt that that
Mrs.
occurred.
McKinney tells me to do something. I'm going to do it.
Where's my second one?
Well, do you want one?
Yeah, I do. Tell me to surprise me. But no caramel, however you say
I
it.
feel like I'm a waiter.
I know, right?
That's a great mic.
Maybe some vanilla latte. Let's do a vanilla latte.
All right, I got my Toms here.
By the way, thank you to Traveling Tom's Coffee Truck. Seth, thanks for setting up. Very good coffee.
Uncle Sean brought that.
Uncle Sean.
Oh, Uncle
Our
Sean,
youngest
okay.
brother, him and some friends own that Tom's Traveling Coffee Truck. It's actually really good.
It
Great
is.
coffee. And they got some
Very
good
tasty.
refreshers and frappes. It's outstanding.
One last thing on Marcel before we hit a break, guys. Talking about being decisive, I also think that means running, right? Because there were times in that Texas game where he had a path and he was a little hesitant to run.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And Miami's very good at stopping running quarterbacks.
But Marcel's different, man. In Miami fans and people in that part of the state and country know like who he's similar to, the way he runs. And I'm not saying he's not Lamar Jackson, who's, you know, NFL MVP type guy, right? I think he is an actual NFL MVP.
Yeah.
But he runs like that. And he actually, I think, has had probably at this stage of his career, and his second year as a starter, has done more now. Lamar's was at Louisville. But he runs, when he takes off and gets past the line of scrimmage, he does have that. He's slender. I mean, maybe Jaden Daniels, a little better comp, but they haven't seen one like him if he gets it going. They haven't. I mean, not CJ, but no one. Like Marcel's different because of how he can throw like on the move. You know, like he's a different dude. I think both of these teams are playing opponents. There you see him against LSU. Backs are turned. There he goes. Miami's if they're going to want to play a lot of man coverage, if he gets past that first wave of defenders, he can make some big plays, and then you got to worry about that a little bit, and boom. So, but again, it goes back to that, David. He has to be aggressive.
What about flipping the script when they have the ball and our guys are rushing them? You go look at SMU and Louisville, or what? That's who they lost to, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at those games when you get Carson Beck off his spot or whatever, he's going to make bad decisions. So that we have to be able to get to him with our four guys, because I know they dink and dunk, and if we're blitzing, they could just do that all day.
Yeah, and
then, we got to get to him. I mean, that's going to be huge.
Tony's not their only receiving threat. I feel like I've talked about him.
I know
all week. They've got
surely they have more than just him. I'm guessing.
But I mean,
we're familiar with.
Don't be scared. Like I feel like everybody on earth is scared, but like look at the games they lost, man.
I'm not scared of Malachi Tony. I'm extremely impressed with him.
No, I get it.
To be a freshman and to be that good of a player and that smart and
here's part of it. The reality is, if Miami's going to hit some big plays offensively, how is that anything different? A&M's used to that. Like, I mean,
it's been an all-year
You'd love for
thing.
them not to, but A&M all year has figured out how to navigate around that and win games. So they're going to come. I'd be shocked if they didn't have any big plays or something. Thank you.
Vanilla latte.
Thank you for the vanilla latte.
Thank you.
There you go. Vanilla latte, courtesy of Tom's. Start your day with a vanilla latte. I think both these teams are going to face like the best that they've seen in a lot of ways. And I agree, there should be. It is a little frustrating to watch so many people picking Miami in this one based on, again, like I think, like you said, like recency bias or
I love it.
a year full of skepticism.
I hope they all pick them.
Well, I do like A&M with an underdog mentality, but I don't think they'll really
embrace that.
I don't think they're really carrying
Yeah.
that. I think they.
Yeah,
it's
you're
come
right.
out this week where people outside of A&M have kind of construed it as trash talk. I think if you know Trey Zune and Ruben Owens and you actually listen to the context of it,
That was the furthest thing.
They're
from
just trying
trash
to
talk.
say, "Hey, I'm really confident. It doesn't matter who the other guy is."
It was just the Jordan thing. Like, I'm looking for some way to take offense to something to get me motivated.
Yeah, and it's a great.
Well, Carson Beck said something about Kyle Field.
Well, yeah, I saw
Did he?
that.
I didn't
I
see
saw that
Yeah,
too.
Carson Beck, when asked about Kyle Field, he said, "Well, those 102,000 fans can't play on the field."
109.
Just play it.
They'll
Just put that on
They'll
play.
show
That
that
was his
quote at
quote,
some
not
point
mine.
during the game.
and then follow it up with the Mambo number 5 or whatever that song is.
Mo Bamba?
Mo Bamba.
Mambo number 5 is a different
If
song.
they play Mambo number 5, dude, I think
Lou
that would be
Bega?
the first time they've actually killed the Kyle Field atmosphere. Mambo.
I hope we come back
five.
with that on the
A
other
little
side.
bit of Monica. That's the one,
Yes,
right?
that's it.
Oh my God.
Lou Vega or something.
Oh God.
So,
I don't think he's part of our
What?
community.
There's your moment today. Congratulations. I was wondering when it was going to come. 10:32.
10:22. We'll hit a break here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's blind.
It's the first segment.
Poor
We-
thing.
I can't make the font size bigger on my actual time. It's just the tag.
or your car keys aren't big enough. Talking about the Association of Former Students, if you're an organization and you're looking for an opportunity to engage with Aggie, check out the Association of Former Students that brings Aggies of all ages together during their marquee events held throughout the year. We're talking Aggie Ring Day, All Aggie Hullabaloo, The Gathering. They welcome tens of thousands of guests, and there are many sponsorship and vendor opportunities to get your brand in front of those attendees. And they offer a wide variety of both digital and in-person options to get your brand in front of those attendees. And they have on-site presence, activation, recognition, and social media posts. And there's also advertising opportunities in both the Texas Aggie Magazine and the Aggie News newsletter, which are seen by over 230,000 people. So if your business is ready to engage with Aggies, choose a partner with the organization supporting the Aggie Network for over 140 years. For more information on options available through the association, please email sponsorships@aggienetwork.com. It is the Association of Former Students.
What's up, everybody? I'm here to tell you about Fratella Italian Cafe. If anyone knows anything about Italian food, it's me, Billy Liucci. And Fratella has the best Italian food in BCS. Located at 3901 South Texas Avenue, Fratella is known for their handmade pasta dishes and feature lasagna, beef cannelloni, chicken parmesan, chicken fettuccine alfredo, a couple of my favorites, just a big old bowl of plain old spaghetti and some manicotti. Really recommend the manicotti. That's my go-to. And don't walk out of there without trying the fresh, piping hot breadsticks and the homemade in-house cheesecake, which is incredible. It's great for dining in, catering, gift cards, and even shipping, which they do nationwide. Fratella's is Aggie-owned and operated, and it's an official restaurant partner of Texas A&M Athletics. I'll see you there.
song. Yeah, it's on right now. We're on the air, by the way.
I used to hate that song. Would anger me when it would go. That and Ricky Martin, "Livin' La Vida Loca."
Both of those, by the way, are very Miami songs. So you're welcome.
That was Miami before Miami music got good. You did have Gloria Estefan, the Miami Sound Machine.
That's like legendary.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
what I'm saying. Like that was.
Yeah.
Nuño, all he listens to now, if it's not from Miami.
You want to see the playlist, bro?
No.
He's got like Pitbull radio.
Not right now.
Okay, well, you brought it up.
I know, but I do want to see it. But
I got a lot of good stuff.
I feel like that might derail us for a solid 9 to
Seth, what's that sub shop there in Miami?
La Spada's. No, that's a good one. I would go back just for La Spada's.
We need one of those here in Texas.
Well, hopefully we're going back to Miami.
That's right. I'll have an opportunity in mid to late January, whatever that is. That's ridiculous how late it goes.
Next year.
This is the final countdown brought to you by La Casa Tequila. All right, where is Miami vulnerable? You mentioned center.
I think they're vulnerable a little bit in the secondary. I think second level. If you can get to the second level running the football, I think there's some yards to be made there. I think there's some explosive plays to be had in the secondary. The challenge is going to be getting enough time. You know, making sure if your offensive line can hold up against a pass rush and some of the blitzes. I think that what is the guy's name? Keontae Scott. Like back, yeah. I know him coming back. He's pretty good on blitzing and stuff. So you got to account for him and block those ends and give your quarterback enough time to get the ball down the field. But
yeah, we don't talk enough. I don't think about Mesidor. Everybody talks about obviously Bain, but you go back and watch the Notre Dame game. It was both of those guys and different builds of players too. Very different build. You know, Bain is not a. I talk about how they look so SEC. Bain is not like a great built. Right. He don't look like Myles Garrett.
No.
But
he's like Steve with short arms.
Yeah, he is.
What the hell?
Alligator arms.
But I was told Scorton and Shamar Stewart versions like more like that as opposed to what we have now.
Oh, I don't think he looks anything like Shamar. Oh, you mean those two?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Because Mesidor looks really good. And you know, Bain does not. Bain is like big lower body, like kind of squatty, but he plays. He's so See, so that's what I was saying. He's so explosive, powerful, and you know, if you're going to play catch, if crown over father, he's doing. If you're going to play catch with him, you think you're going to catch him here, and he's knocking me from me to you, and that's what's going to mess.
Be some leverage challenges there.
Yeah.
Because he's 6'3", and you like you said, he plays, strong lower body, and you got a guy like Crownover, 6'7". So leverage is going to be important.
So where I think Marcel has to, and where Marcel's going to have to be, they're going to have to block well on the inside because he's going to have the ability to step not only up in the pocket, but also up and out, which is where he can really hurt. And then it negates a lot of that outside pass. You saw Taylor Green do it a lot to A&M. He's got to be able to do that. And as you guys know better than any of us, that doesn't happen if Seth's not blocking on the interior. I'll be really interested to see, Nuño, how much Zune plays center versus how much he plays tackle. And a ton of that too will depend on can Crownover and Fothery hold up at tackle.
Yeah. Right.
Are you going to have the ability to do that? And if the answer is yes, then I think that's a great.
Well, I have no idea. They've been doing it all year, but hopefully this matchup kind of dictates how the rotation's going to go out there at tackle.
Yeah, agreed.
Another area that I think you're not going to believe this, but that could be an area of weakness for Miami compared to A&M is their penalties. You think about our penalties; they get penalized more than A&M does,
which is wild.
And they're coming to Kyle Field.
Seems like a wash to me because I'm
just saying the Kyle Field atmosphere.
Kyle Field is yes. I would say we're more disciplined at home for sure.
Yeah, it could definitely be an advantage. I mean,
the Auburn game did happen.
14 penalties.
If
that is
Mississippi State,
if Miami, what would you say the over/under on false starts for Miami?
Over/under
2.5
in this game.
3 if you get 3.
Yeah. I think that's pretty reasonable to expect 3 false starts during this game.
I think you have to bake that in if you're a visiting team, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to understand, like we're going to have to overcome some 1st and 15, some 2nd and
So if they go on
12s.
silent, how does that affect, like,
The only thing that does is gives the defensive line an advantage because that doesn't matter how good you are at silent. You're most likely going to be a quarter step or, quarter second, even a millisecond off the count where the defensive ends if they can just get their leg up in the air before you've moved, they've got an advantage. That's going to happen. It may not happen every play, but you can't tell me you get into a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10 where we know it's going to be a pass and the crowd is just deafening. That defensive end is going to get that split-second advantage off the ball, and that makes a big difference coming around those edges. If you can create a short corner where Beck can't go set up and just post up and he has to step up, now you got pressure coming up inside. If you've brought a fifth, a linebacker or somebody creating pressure in the middle, he's got nowhere to go. That pocket's going to collapse.
I don't know what they do for their silent routine, but if it's the clap, I would feel very optimistic about our ability to get them to jump more than 3 times.
I don't know if they use the clap or silent, but if they're going off clap, good luck.
Yeah.
I would love, we would all love to see A&M go out and just play their best game of the year, right? I think if either of these teams walked off the field going, we just played our best game of the year, they win. For A&M, we've seen them play 2 quarters, 3 quarters of truly elite football. They're down 18-14 to LSU at halftime, and I think the rest of that game, until there was 20 seconds left, when LSU threw a garbage touchdown, they're down 18-14, and that all happened in a 10-minute span. The rest of the game, they basically outscored them 49-3.
Yeah,
or probably some of those points came in at 42-3. We've seen them go on that 31-0 run against Mississippi State. 35-0 run against LSU. I think they closed out Florida on a 24-3 run. They had 28-0 run in the second half against South Carolina. They had 21-0 runs in wins against Arkansas and Missouri. They were up 21-0 and I think they went 21-0, 21-6 against Arkansas after being behind. So we've seen them do that. I think even in Notre Dame, they may have had a 17-point run. So
probably
they've got it in them. If they can have that, that's one thing we would love to see is a streak of really good football for say a couple quarters. But let this game get late and everything you talked about and how loud Kyle Field can get and we know how it is at night, but we were all there for South Carolina.
Dude,
we were all there for Auburn. Those were early games.
This is going to be the biggest game
ever.
I don't care if it's 11 a.m. or what.
It's going to be loud.
Every fan at that stadium knows.
So let Miami need to move the ball down the field in the fourth quarter to either come back or for A&M holding on to a slim lead, whatever it may be. That's when it's really you're going to put Carson back and the timing of all that. And if it's at a point where they can't really run the ball, if it's a 2-minute drill or if you're up by more than a score, let them get into that situation. And that's where this defensive line has just absolutely eaten it. It's what Texas did in Austin.
They did that exact thing to us.
The home field advantage is going to be great no matter what, but let it become something that you can't overcome, which is what some of these teams that have come in here this year and last year have seen. I guess A&M's lost what? Am I wrong in saying they've lost 1 home game the last 2 years? It was the opener to Notre Dame.
Twice last year.
Notre Dame,
Notre Dame and Texas.
Texas. So the wins over the last 2 years have been.
Thanks for that.
Well, but here's the thing:
you reminded us of that.
The wins in the last 2 years have come against. You've done it against LSU. You did it again in a big. I'm telling you, it was a big game against Florida because it was the week after they beat Texas.
Yeah.
They came in here. People were again.
And they played pretty good. DJ was throwing some dimes that game too.
The home field has been really nice. If and if the Aggies let it in the first half against South Carolina, they didn't let it. In the second half, they did.
And if they let it, there's not a road game left. It's all neutral. So
true.
Keep on winning.
By the way, and Seth said it. This is the biggest game for Texas A&M at home ever. Tell us, Canes fan, how it's the biggest game for Miami since when, in your opinion? You're a lifelong Hurricane fan.
Since the 0-2 game against Ohio State.
National championship 0-2.
Which is why we're wanting to get past A&M, not looking past A&M.
Yeah.
We're wanting to get past A&M
little revamp. Yeah, and that would be like for Miami to come into an SEC stadium in the college football playoff for the first time and win it, and then go be on the big stage New Year's Eve against Ohio State, bring back that national championship matchup, and say we're back on the big stage. We've arrived again. Mario Cristobal's got us here. For A&M, it's get to 12-1. Not only just the smallest part of this is to shut up all the naysayers, but get to 12-1, win your first playoff game ever, do it against a real opponent at Kyle Field, a blue blood, 5-time national championship program for all the world to see. And I mean, the college football world is descending upon College Station today and tomorrow. And then you set up the New Year's Eve battle with the defending national champs 2 hours away from home at Jerry World. So for both these programs, this is a chance to not only make a statement tomorrow that you're back or you've arrived, but also both of these teams believe they can continue winning after tomorrow.
And they're both capable of continuing winning.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
me.
We're literally 9 minutes late for the break. Thanks, guys. If you're looking for real financial peace of mind, it starts with our good friends at Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas. No sales pitches, no commissions, just honest financial planning and investment management. And what really sets them apart is the over 9 CFPs, the CFA, and the CPA all on staff. They take their credentials seriously, and they work tirelessly to help you build a future you can feel great about. Go to paragon-adv.com or give them a call at 979-693-3907 to schedule your free consultation today. It's Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. We are back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. The final countdown with Steve and Seth and Billy, presented by La Casa Tequila. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Freak of the Week.
It's the Freak of the Week.
There we go.
Yes.
Who started today?
Hey.
Who started last time? Because whoever started last time.
I started last time.
Okay. It's you.
I'll definitely start then. I'm going with my guy, even though I said that I want him to have a very basic, boring game. Marcel's going to be the Freak of the Week. We're going to protect him well. He's going to do his deal. And when he does get the inevitable pressure from Bain or Mesidor or whoever, that he's going to react to it, get some yards, and make some explosive plays. But he's going to be the Freak, and we're going to go as he goes for sure.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I do, man. I want to see Marcel. We talked about it earlier. I want to see him take that Johnny Manziel versus Alabama, Johnny versus Oklahoma. And I don't mean like I know he's a running quarterback. They're completely different other than they can both run and hurt you on broken plays. But what I mean by that is that mentality to be on the attack from moment one. And you go back as a fan and you think about his whole career, but those two games in particular, where it was just like, I'm going to take it to these guys and put them on their heels early versus me, the quarterback, and our offensive line and running backs being on their heels. You have to do that against Miami or you will not win. You cannot let Miami, just like Miami can't let this Kyle Field crowd, like the defense, dictate, like you said, cause the problem. Like you can't let Miami dictate the terms. But you can't let them think that they're controlling the line of scrimmage and dictating how that game's going to be played. And you've got to take it to them, just like Marcel did in Baton Rouge. And I know people think lesser of LSU now because they're 7-5. Everyone forgets a couple things about LSU. They lost to a playoff team 13-10 last game out on the road. They were down to Alabama they had a million chances inside the red zone to make that Alabama game a last possession game. They lost 20-9.
They brought in Van Buren in that game too, just to try to spark it.
And they gave up 33 points to LSU and Alabama, to OU and Alabama after A&M played them. The Aggies scored 49 that day in Death Valley. That team is not what people say, where they made them out to be like this sad case.
Yeah, no.
LSU, they're not Miami, but they're really talented, and A&M went out and was the aggressor and got after them, especially after halftime. You have to have that mindset and these guys know this, deep down in there, in every one of those players and in that program is the U, and it's the championships, and it's, it's Highsmith, it's Ray Lewis, it's Ed Reed, it's McGahee, Gore, Edger and Jay. It's all those guys that you guys played with and against and that we all watch. You can't let them believe they're them.
Right.
Because the talent is there. So the Aggies have to match, to me, more than anything else, Steve, the intensity and playing. They need to match. Miami's playing this hard because they're going to do it. You better play this hard.
And I'll just add to that exactly what you said, but swagger. Because I think that's what was missing, the last game. We went out to Texas. We didn't. I don't know why, but we didn't seem to have that swagger that we'd had all season, Marcel especially. He's got to get that confidence back. And like you said, he's got to go out. He's got to be aggressive, have that Manziel mentality, and take it to him.
Freak of the Week?
I'm going Mario. I'm going Mario Craver, man. I mean, he's had 3 weeks to heal up.
Yeah.
I know he was a little banged up.
Yes.
It's time for him to have that big game. I think they're going to be doing a lot to try to take away KC, which is, almost impossible to do completely. But it seems like it's those games where Mario really shines when he's healthy. So hopefully that's this game.
I think that's a great pick, and I think you saying when he's healthy. He hasn't been healthy for a few weeks, and it affected his game. And thankfully, Ashton Bethel Roman stepped up in a big way.
Yep.
But he is fully healthy now. That break served him maybe as well as anybody outside of Le'Veon Moss. I don't want to put Le'Veon. By the way, I would agree with you, but I don't want to pick Le'Veon as the Freak of the Week because I just don't know how many carries he gets. But I think there is some level of not sandbagging. If they were sandbagging, they wouldn't have had him out there fully padded up for practice with the media out there. They could have just He even held him out for the first segment or two. But there's some level of, I think Le'Veon is healthy enough to make an impact in this game, and I think that's kind of been the plan all along, and it's why they didn't play him against Texas, because you could get that extra 3 weeks of recovery for him. He got hurt against Florida. That was October 10th, 11th. It's literally 2 months now.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably 9 weeks ago that happened. He's not my freak of the week, though. I'm going to go with Cassius Howell. He needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Along with the rest of the defense, he was quiet in Austin.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about disrespect of Ruben Bain because of Trey Zune's comment, which I know that's not at all what he intended. We know Zune.
But I appreciate his confidence.
I think there's a little bit of disrespect in terms of I've heard about Ruben Bain a hell of a lot more than I've heard about the SEC Defensive Player of the Year this week than Cassius Howell. And I think they're both great players. Bain probably get drafted higher. They're both going to be first-round picks, I'd imagine. But Cassius Howell had the Defensive Player of the Year in this conference, and he's a problem. And that matchup of him against their offensive tackle, I think, will be the matchup of the game, too.
All right, we'll do Sleeper of the Week. On the other side is TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Final Countdown with Steve, Seth, and Billy, presented by La Casa Tequila. Right, by the way, I'm going to do a quick Freak of the Week. Give me Will Lee.
Woo!
All right? Will's he's done a fantastic job against the elite receivers. I think that continues again. The A&M defense overall has done a good job against elite receivers.
Yeah.
My sleeper is...
Can I say the ad?
You go last. Hold on. You go last because you pick like 8 sleepers, dude.
We don't need your 8 sleepers.
Fair enough.
Sleeper of the Week, presented by the Sleep Station. Go see Jared McLeod and ask about the Tempur-Pedic or the Purple Mattress in the Specs parking lot at Texas and Harvey and in front of the Lowe's at William D. Fitch and Highway 6. Website is thesleepstation.com. Steve, you go first with the...
Go to the Sleep Station.
Go to the
Talk
Sleep
to Jared.
Station.
McLeod.
Jared McLeod. I've heard that name so many times here.
Good. That means
there you go. Go get you
memorized.
I got a
Sleep
great.
Station.
I got a great 4 hours of sleep last night on my Tempur-Pedic. Thank goodness it was a Tempur-Pedic because I needed it for 4 hours.
I need it. I need one of those. I'm going to go with Chappelle, man.
Damn you! I swear to God, you just took both of my picks.
Oh, really?
When he was talking about
That's awesome.
when you were talking about Willie, I'm like, man, Chappelle. If he's going to be locked up at times with Malachi Tony.
That's what I'm thinking. That's a big matchup, you know. We need him.
He's
to have
quietly
a big
had a
game.
really good year. Man, you know what I need in the worst way? You guys mentioned to him. I need an interception from a cornerback.
Please, something.
Boy.
Am I wrong in saying there's
No,
not
you're
one
not
this
wrong.
year?
Let's go.
Am I wrong in saying they've gone a full regular season without one of the corners intercepting a pass? Or am I crazy?
We do a great job in coverage. We don't necessarily play the ball great. We play more of the catch, breaking up catches, which they've done outstanding with.
Yeah, they've done a great
Would
job
love
of
it.
covering down
Would
the
love it.
field. But yeah, I would love to see one of them jump a route.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the kind of game where you can get
I'm
that.
calling for an A&M pick 6 tomorrow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
How about that, Steve?
That is the old
You
game
would-
box.
Somebody's getting mad.
You would.
You would.
You would
really.
want that, wouldn't you? Well, yeah.
So did you pick your sleeper?
No,
No.
actually, I
I'm
didn't.
next.
It's funny.
I'm next.
Sorry.
Even though Billy tried to take my pick in a weird way on the Freak of the Week.
I didn't take
I'm
it.
going with Le'Veon Moss. I think that he's going to get, 10 carries, and I'm in his 10 carries. Yeah, I think he's going to